God damn, Gary. Some serious gourmet shit. What flavor is this? That's right, it's the all-hell medium roast private blend. Check out the Geek Grind Coffee Nerdrotic page for our other options like the Decadent, Feathers of Liberty, vanilla-infused flavored coffee. Or if you're looking for something darker, try the Dark Roast FNT blend of the Fellowship. You know what? Just buy all three. GeekGrindCoffee.com. Use discount code Nerdrotic.
So how do I...
Drink a lot of water. I really have to go. People are waiting to tee off. There's no restroom out here.
Has this happened to you? I've got the perfect gift. Introducing the Euro Club, the discreet sanitary solution for your urgent relief. It looks like an ordinary golf club, but contains a reservoir built into the grip to relieve yourself. The Euro Club comes with a towel and appears that you are just checking out your club. Leak-proof, easy to clean, and no embarrassing moments. Order now.
I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. Become so tired, so much more aware.
We need to operate quickly if we are to save the babies. He's carrying twins.
Are you kidding me? Is that a joke?
I could jerk off. I don't want to watch this right now. This is terrible. There's no point in this.
Oh, don't know.
Heel versus Babyface.
Oh, shut your bloody trap, woman!
Not entertained, and I could be jerking off.
Yes, there it is!
Ryan can know.
You, Ryan. What the f? No! Oh, no! God damn it!
This dumb woman.
Let's go!
Let's go! Right. Now we can go. Hail! Everyone in the 199 in the fellowship and all fandoms everywhere. This is Friday Night Tights, and we're, not on time. So what the hell?
Never on time. That's nothing
not
new.
on time.
Basically on time.
No Mauler, and Az is still dead. Rest in peace, buddy.
R.I.P.
He's dead.
R.I.P. Although I might
One
call
day.
him to be on the show later.
You got a seance and you're gonna summon the ghost of Az.
Resurrection spell.
Yeah, Mahler is on assignment. He will be back next week, so we can talk about two things that are coming. I forgot they're coming out the same day too. Rebel Moon and Aquaman 2 are going to plop on the same day.
Yay!
That's gonna be a tough watch, man.
What day is it coming out for you guys? For me, it's Boxing Day here in Australia. 22nd here.
Yeah.
Yeah, 21st, 22nd, something like that.
Shad,
Same day as Iron Claw, which looks a lot better.
Shad, we will
Iron
be
Claw.
we will be in touch with.
Did you see
ways
the
to watch?
the IGN review? The same reviewer that reviewed the Marvels reviewed the Iron Claw. She gave the Marvels an 8, and she gave the Iron Claw 5.
So Iron
She
Claw
gave
best
She-Hulk
movie of the year
an 8 as well. Oh my god.
We haven't seen it yet, Jeremy.
I know it. I don't need to see it to know Iron Claw is going to be a better movie than the Marvels.
It's not a high bar.
weird.
Marvel's
It's
an
not.
8.
It's not a high. It's not a high.
And
bar.
that's definitely not an 8 movie for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard
No.
that. Good lord.
Well, hello, I'm Gary
Jeez.
from Nerdrotic, and to my left, your right is D-Day. I had to think about that. Drugs are really bad.
The left is the L with your finger.
Oh,
Only 6 minutes in.
You've only got 2 just remember them. Like, just, it's easy to work it out.
it's Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, who is not affiliated with Zack Snyder. What's up, brother?
Feels good to say that today of all days with the Rebel Moon reviews dropping. But yes, hello. Praise to our Lord and Savior Elon Musk for Starlink. That's the only way I'm able to be talking with all of you right now. This is my first experience with Starlink, and yeah, it's pretty. I'm pretty impressed with it. Pretty impressed.
I'm
but,
pretty impressed
happy
with
to be here.
with your microphone because it's not echoey in the gay bathhouse you're in. So,
hey, listen, this is the first time I've traveled with my Rodecaster and running my XLR mic setup, and I'll never bring the Yeti with me again because it's obvious. Because I've done several streams this week, and you'll hear me robot out every now and then, but for the most part, it's held up really well, and been able to watch YouTube and everything. So shout out to Elon Musk, and no, I'm not getting paid by them, but I would say I'm gladly affiliated with Elon Musk and not Zack Snyder. So there you go.
there you go.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Excellent. Hi, Ryan.
Hi, Gary.
Just talked to you last night.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've been on stream a lot over the past 24 hours.
Yes.
And to talk about some good shit like Reacher. That was awesome.
It was.
First 3 episodes of Reacher came out. They were great. I think me and Gary are gonna do reaction streams every Thursday for the next 5 weeks or so. You know, barring something crazy happening. But yeah, it's a good reprieve in the midst of a lot of dog shit that we're getting and will continue to get for the rest of the year.
Agreed. Really good opening. Good first 3 episodes. Go watch it, of course, after this stream. If you haven't already. Good show. Hi, Shad.
Hey, Gary.
I heard
I'm
something's coming out.
Yeah.
That you wrote.
Which? Oh,
A
yes,
book.
that is coming out.
You of the closet.
Yes.
I know what. I came out of the closet as a conservative ages
Surprise.
ago. and,
Yeah.
it's out now. People know. No, that is on its way, baby, and people are already receiving their Shadow the Conqueror graphic novels, which is awesome. Love to see it. Took a bit of work to get here. There was bumps in the road, but we overcame them, and I'm very excited for everyone to get those copies. I haven't seen Reacher yet. I'm looking forward to it. I really enjoyed season 1, and you know, while we're going to be talking about probably Reacher and I don't know, some maybe Aquaman on its way, some other trailers, I did watch something that I think everyone is really concerned about: the quality of Wonka.
Oh.
Yep.
I was so concerned.
I know you guys care about it.
I heard it's not good.
I don't particularly care about it, but I think that that's going to be the movie that overperforms this Christmas season as opposed to some of the other things. Even though I'm not particularly interested in it.
Yeah, I've done a full review on Night's Watch. I have mixed feelings on it. It actually wasn't really woke. It didn't have any. So it's a harmless kids film. Kids might enjoy it. There's a lot of dumb goofiness that I found slit my wrists painful. It was a bad movie.
Wow, that was a hard turn.
Kids might enjoy it.
That
I
went
did
dark.
not. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
sitting in the
Dark.
cinema thinking I could kill myself. That could save me.
Well, what's better, chocolate or a
not
painless
over a
death?
movie.
My kids might enjoy it because.
All right.
Either enjoy it or they want to die.
It's like transgender children will enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'm talking about my death. I'm talking about the film.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Well, welcome, Shad. We also
Just
have.
kidding. Just for I'm just kidding. There are no such thing as transgender children.
That's true.
I want to put it out there.
It's a fact. Chrissy Mayer.
Hello. Oh my gosh, it's so great to be here. I am at the Poconos content house right now, so apologies if somebody bursts through the door in their underwear or drunk or something. It's a real.
Just depends on who.
Yeah.
It depends on who.
It really depends
barrels
on
through
who.
before you need to apologize.
Yeah.
So just hold that apology until after the fact.
Yeah, we had a hot tub stream last night. I saw Mark the Cyborg without his leg. I saw his bare stump in the hot tub. It was very scandalous.
Drinking out.
And then just watching him sit and put his leg back on in the 30-degree weather. I was like, you're gonna freeze to death before he could get the damn thing on. I just was like, jump on my back. I'll carry you back in the house.
He's Canadian. He does
He's
it every day.
Canadian.
He's
Yeah,
hardcore though.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is like Canada weather to these people.
Well, welcome.
But
Glad
it's
you can
fine.
make
It's
it.
good to be here.
Glad you can make it.
And then very excited to go to Phoenix with Ryan. Well, not going together, but we'll both be at the Turning Point America Fest this weekend.
That's right. That's gonna be awesome. I've been advertising it like we're gonna be there, we're gonna be hanging out together. Chrissy's gonna be eating for 2, and I'm gonna be drinking for 2. So we're gonna split it up that way.
Yes.
It's gonna be good.
I have a shirt that says drinking for 2. But yeah, we'll have a media booth. We're gonna try to interview some people. Maybe we can flag down Vivek or Roseanne or whoever's just around. The custodian, whoever will talk to me.
Yeah, the bathroom attendant. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You got it. Thanks for being here, Chrissy.
Fun.
What's up?
Having me.
Quarter Black Garrett.
What's up, man? It's been a good week. We had some fun stuff. Civil Wars inside of Disney's upper echelon. Paramount possibly selling off some properties, flipping some stuff. Alex Jones back on Twitter, so it's been pretty good. I'm ready to talk about some stuff.
It has been an interesting week, and we will. Oh, we're going to talk about all of it. Talk about it. What's up, Odin?
What's up? Crazy week indeed. And let's just say I'm actually dreading next week quite a bit because there's 2 movies coming out that I have no desire to see
on the same
at
day.
all.
On the
same day, in fact.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 5 hours worth of content that I just wish I could get back in my life. Can't believe you're making me watch another Zack Snyder movie. That guy's trash.
I am.
Agreed.
I don't know why, but I'm looking forward to Aquaman. I'm positive about it.
Is it the six-pack?
I said I don't know why. Okay.
I can tell you why.
I think we all know why.
Tell you why.
Homoerotic undertones.
You're looking forward to it because of that algorithm, baby. That's what you're looking forward to.
I don't know if anybody's going to care. That's a question we will pose to the
if you put Amber Heard's face in the thumbnails, it will get views, baby.
Okay,
all
that's
right.
That is not true. I can attest to that. Over the past couple months, it's not necessarily the case. I don't feel like there's a lot of interest in Aquaman
that
right now.
might change afterwards, but yeah, Amber Heard and a poop emoji probably wouldn't be a bad idea for all thumbnails.
100%.
What's up, comics?
Hey, man, how you doing? Been a very good week. As we mentioned, Alex Jones is back. Normal World had a great Christmas special last night. Fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
You guys are killing it over there, Garrett.
Thank you.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing Aquaman.
See, I'm not the only one.
I want to see how bad it is. I mean, just like the Marvels, I want to see if it actually underperforms the Marvels or not. I have a thing that
it looks like it's going to.
Yeah, but you never know at this point. So it should be interesting. Yeah,
I was really hoping the Marvels ended up at 199.
Somebody screenshot that. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I was like, but once I saw that, I'm like, well, there's no way it's gonna definitely make a little bit more than that. So
well, and of course, remember they're kind of delaying those international numbers as well too. So
that is true.
Garrett, nice navigation of the Gavin McGinnis episode there. I watched.
Yeah, that was well done.
A little shaky there. but we made it through.
I like
Nothing got heat on,
I
right?
like the
At
promo.
least it was pre-recorded.
The promo picture was it. That was good.
I was dropping them hints the whole time.
Yeah, I also love the fact that we're seeing major backlash against Doctor Who over the shooting glass while intro, which is kind of funny.
Polygon. Well, we'll get to it because Polygon called him racist.
Yes, they did.
So did
the
The
Verge
Verge.
did too.
Yeah, and there was another one. I think it was the Independent, and the kid just from the leaks went, "Well, this is gonna be astronomically bad if this is true." So,
Oh yeah, we'll bring all of that up in a little bit. But right before I announce our special guest, I just want to let you all. I'm wearing his T-shirt. Disparu.
It's actually better if you know anything to like English comedies. There's one called I'm pretty sure it's The Misfits. That is just like a load of creepy weirdos who get the strangest superpowers you've ever seen. It's incredible.
Oh, yeah,
it's a good
it
show.
really
I
is.
know that show.
Yeah.
I know that show.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's a great show.
One of them went on to Game of Thrones. Like, it was like completely out of character. So a good sign of a good actor when you can do something that far apart.
Yep.
But yeah, I made the mistake of looking into like the Doctor Who lore, which you think the show's bad enough, and then Russell T Davies comes out and goes, no, this affects everything before the show existed as well. I'm like, oh my god. So yeah, I shouldn't have done that. That was a mistake.
They
fuck the canon.
They prison raped the canon. It was bad enough, and they just it's like you know, as when he was alive, put together one of his like lovely Lego castles, and you know, like Belle comes in and just smashes it to fucking pieces. That's what the Doctor Who canon is right now, and it's unbelievable. So it's kind of funny that certain sites are calling it racist now, and I love it. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Woke on, woke on.
I need to be sure of your intent. When you say prison rape, you mean arse rape.
I mean prison rape.
Is that what it means? Or is there a difference?
It depends. Is it a gendered prison? Because the female.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
if it's a male prison, then it's ass rape. But there's other holes in the body, you know.
Yeah.
Ears.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just gotta know where to look.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like how everybody think it is. It gets worse because obviously it wasn't just the Doctor splitting; the TARDIS did as well. And they said you only split because it creates like he brings his dimension there. So at every single point where the Doctor regenerated, random people are just bumping into things and just having like arms shoot out of them and stuff. Like we're duplicating throughout all of history. So
Yeah.
I want the story of those people.
We want who's if somebody's there not to pull the other one out, does it get stuck inside the Doctor? That's
Well, with momentum, if you like bump into a table or something,
Sylvester
then like
McCoy
half of you will shoot out across.
was dead. The Seventh Doctor was dead on a slab when the Eighth Doctor came regenerated. So nobody was there to pull him out except for that guy from it's not Living Color, is it Living Color?
But like I thought his regenerations would be like fixed points in time, and that changing
Or
the
Mad
past
TV.
could like
Very
mess up.
confusing.
The guy from Mad TV is
Yeah.
in that one. So
They said it was splintered timelines and then called it the Doctorverse. So we were like, we have gone mad.
No.
Just what we needed.
you want to talk about
another multiverse.
We need to kill the freaking
counting your
multiverse
chickens.
trend, man.
You want to counting your chickens before they've hatched. They put so much into this, and it's been a disaster. It's been a total disaster.
Yeah, massive
And
failure.
And the fact that Disney's name is on it now is kind of appropriate, to be honest with you.
It is.
Yeah, big
Really?
big
My
bombs. Yeah, that's Disney.
Hey, speaking of big bombs, it's probably a good thing they didn't release this movie in the theaters.
Yeah. Big time.
Because Rebel Moon, the embargo lifted on Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon. Hey, it's risen up to 26%. It started at 9.
That's pretty brutal.
Well, to be fair, it started at 14, then went down to 9.
Down to 9.
And now it's back up. So click on the 26 real quick, the number itself. Check out Top Critics.
Oh boy. It's
Go to
gonna
the
drop.
right.
Damn. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
This kind of sucks because I was kind of looking forward to this movie. I was
Well,
hoping
yeah,
it'd be a
I was
little
gonna say
something
like
different.
to be fair,
Not a huge
Oh!
Zack Snyder fan, but
to be fair, I don't think Zack Snyder's ever been like a critical darling or anything. He's had a couple other pretty big flops with critics, and even his other movies are typically like 50, 60, 70%.
That's true.
And we'll see. I can't say I'm excited for Rebel Moon at all, especially in light of things that have happened over the past few years. But the idea of someone doing a new IP, their own franchise, a standalone thing that's not connected to anything else, I think that's more appealable than some other shit we've had. And I don't necessarily trust the critics as far as I can throw them. However, it's not a great look, considering we still got several days before this thing actually comes out and releases. It's getting hammered right now.
The only other thing I've ever seen hit zero was Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who. That was with the audience.
And this is why it's interesting that it's so low because of critics, because it does have a female lead. Zack Snyder has pushed the identity politics bullshit, and the fact that they still aren't giving it credit for that's a red flag. Again, we'll see. Ryan is 100% right on. Zack Snyder has never made movies that critics have overwhelmingly loved. I think the worst, and you'd have to look it up, I think the
Sucker
worst from a critic standpoint might be
Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch is bad.
Sucker Punch is
That is a
shit.
horrible movie.
And he's doing a director's cut. He wants to do a director's cut,
dude,
with extra footage.
I mean, like,
why?
Oh
my god!
What is he? I haven't seen all of his movies. He's made like what 10, 12 movies.
I think
something
I've seen
like
all
that.
of his movies.
I like 2 of them. I love Watchmen.
I like 3 of them.
Watchmen
Dawn of the
is
Dead's great.
Dawn of the Dead
300's
and
great.
Watchmen.
300 is pretty good.
300 is pretty good.
like
Watchmen
300.
is great. Love Watchmen.
When it comes to 300, I'm basically like, I watched it well after the fact. I didn't
Didn't
like
age well.
300, but I appreciated the visual achievement that it was for its time.
It was a
because
great
it certainly
adaptation
was.
of Frank Miller's work. Like, he's
Dude, it
really
was
good.
killer.
What he did was he kind of ran where Robert Rodriguez started with Sin City. So Sin City was like, it's the single best adaptation. It's the comic. It is the comic. It's so close. So what Zack Snyder did was use that philosophy, and it actually worked. So remember, they're not adapting history; they're adapting a Frank Miller comic book, in 300, and it's very good.
Well, here's what's so a lot of people, you may think the answer to this question or this statement, but it's not. The point where I lost faith in Zack Snyder wasn't on a particular live stream. It was not on a particular live stream. It was Army of the Dead, which I told him to his face that I was looking forward to. I was like, hey, I don't like your DC movies, but I think Army of the Dead, I'm excited because I liked your Dawn of the Dead. Army of the Dead was fucking terrible.
Well, you couldn't see anything.
God awful.
Well, he didn't write his Dawn of the Dead, so that makes a lot more sense, right?
The
Yeah,
bokeh and the out of focus shit in it, like it was
who
horrible. Gave me a headache.
who wrote Dawn of the Dead? Odin.
James Gunn.
James Gunn.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and so yeah, I mean, I still went into Army of the Dead like, okay, I at least want to see what this is about, but it was not good, and it just kind of shows you like for me anyway, he's batting like 20% on his movies.
And
he needs a really great writer to be his partner. He's great.
Yes.
Visually, he's a fantastic director. He's got really great ideas, except for the whole out of focus shit. Get rid of that.
Yeah, that's.
But
lame.
other than that, he has really great visual ideas. He needs somebody that is really great at writing to pair those ideas.
And just to head anybody off in the chat, and Jeremy and Ryan talked about it just a few minutes ago. I like some of his work. We do like, and we understand that critics are mostly full of shit, and they've never liked Zach, and some of them might honestly be giving bad reviews because they still relate him because they do think he's affiliated to Geeks and Gamers and the alt-right and whatever
Still?
shit. Yes, they do because they're fucking retarded. So I mean,
that dumb.
I could watch this movie and fucking love it. That's a possibility. We're just going over what the critics are saying right now, but the consensus is
great,
not looking good.
Yeah, I obviously have liked a lot.
trailer.
I've liked a lot more stuff than probably most people on this panel. I've liked more than I've disliked from Snyder. And when it comes to this, I have not been like wowed or anything by the trailers themselves. I'm more like interested. I like the idea that that Netflix is like, hey, here's a fuck ton of money. Go do your own thing. Like legit, just do your own thing. We don't want to attach you to a franchise. Do your own thing. Create your own universe. Which I feel like we kind of need more of right now.
Hit the critics.
Instead of just either a prequel or a sequel or whatever. So we'll see what it ends up doing. I have liked movies I've liked movies that the critics have despised. Even Zack Snyder movies that the critics have despised.
Yeah. I have to. I like the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, it improved.
Fuck that movie.
Mahler's not here to disagree.
Yeah, Mahler's not here to disagree.
I will say I did like the Snyder Cut better than any of the other DC Snyder movies or the Joss. Well, I still like the Joss Whedon cut better. I think.
Fucking hate that movie.
You're high.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
Only because it's shorter. That's the only reason why I would agree with that
Here's a good
statement.
example. Here's a good example. A movie I adore. That's a Netflix movie that I've talked about a bunch. Bright. I fucking love Bright.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good movie.
83% audience score, 26% critic score.
I really like Bright. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Bright
Bro.
is good.
Bro.
That was before I knew Will Smith was getting murdered.
I like X-Men Origins Wolverine. Go ahead and look
that movie
shit up,
sucks.
okay?
I wouldn't be
Yeah, that
bragging
movie's
about
a piece
that.
of shit.
Just Wolverine, the game.
Honestly, give me X-Men Origins Wolverine over Snyder's DC any fucking
Oh,
day.
actually,
all right,
yeah.
Okay.
any day. Any day.
At least
You
that
know
was
what?
funny.
My one
At least
gripe
it's
with this
funny.
movie-
you know?
After
Before
you,
I've seen
after
the
you
movie,
say
the
that,
name.
Jeremy, I think you should start doing drugs because that will be your excuse because you're
Dude.
so bad at saying that. That makes no
Some
sense.
psychedelics.
Hey, at least X-Men Origins has a Wolverine, unlike Snyder's DC, which doesn't have a fucking Superman. Okay, that's my argument right there. Mope Man, oh, I'm so sad. I don't want to fucking save people. We're gonna retcon the fact that you let fucking millions of people, or okay, thousands of people die. We're gonna retcon that in the beginning of Batman vs Superman because Superman couldn't fucking save people because he wants to blow the whole fucking city up. Fuck that. That's not Superman. The fuck out of here. Bullshit.
It doesn't make Wolverine Origins good.
No, but what I'm saying is that at
Nothing
least
you
it
just
has
said
in that movie
at
alone,
least
dude.
Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is a respectable Wolverine, even though the movie around him was dog shit.
Dog shit.
That's what I will say.
So you're basically
I'm not
saying
arguing.
Still a bad
at least
movie.
it has Hugh Jackman in it.
Hey,
It's got
listen,
a guy who looks like Wolverine. If there's a still picture of Wolverine in it, okay, sure.
Hang on, but let me be clear. At no
Hey,
point
his
in
wife
time,
in that movie alone.
at
is
no
better
point
than
in
any of those
time,
movies.
at no point in time have I ever said that X-Men Origins Wolverine is a good movie. 'Cause
No.
it's not.
No.
It's not.
No.
It's not a good movie. It's
Bright
just a movie that I like.
is a good movie. Go watch it if you
is.
haven't.
Both those movies are just dog shit. That's all there is to it.
So Courtney Howard, who then we got a top critic here. What's a top critic anyway? I mean, I don't even
It's
know.
right. They're
I
just
was
ones
gonna
that are with
ask-
the more reputable. Like for the most part, they see the
Variety
people
and
around
shit.
here or people
Yeah.
with more reputable places, rather than like like I don't think like you could probably get approved to be a Rotten Tomatoes critic, Gary. You wouldn't go under top critics. You'd go under all.
Yeah.
So like Deadline Hollywood Daily, is that associated with Deadline, who also happens to
Are
own?
we sure Gary would get approved? I don't think he's a little. I think he's a little
Film,
toxic.
film Threats approved.
Yeah.
Well, there's still some people that respect Gore. Some, but they'll learn. They'll learn of his affiliations.
They'll
soon
learn
enough.
soon. I would never apply, so that question will never be answered. How's that sound? Deadline Hollywood. So is that Deadline, which is also
Yeah, I think so.
same company owns Hollywood Reporter and I believe Variety, all owned by the
Yeah.
same company.
The very one.
Another Zack Snyder movie that deals with the same old issues: quality production values with scatterbrained, incoherent storytelling. I feel like a broken record. Well, we feel like most of the critics are broken records too. I will say
Yeah,
that.
because like I will say this to the 13, almost 14,000 people watching so far. Next week, when you tune into Friday Night Tights, we may all like this fucking movie. There's a chance that is possible.
Yep.
I'm not going to go into this movie just because of any previous issue with Zach and just not give credit where credit's due if I like the movie. I'm at least interested to see, because look, it's a win-win for us. We can either go fuck Zack Snyder or fuck the critics. Either way, we win. So we're going to give you our honest opinion. You know what I mean?
How
It's a
about
win-win.
fuck Zack Snyder and the critics?
Yeah, that's true.
We can have our cake and eat it too.
No,
There we go.
I do believe the Snyder Cut came out after the incident. After the incident.
It did, like a couple hours after, yes.
Hey, I gave it a fair review, and we all did. We all gave it a fair review. That did not factor into the incident.
Yeah, but if you
Hey,
look
yeah,
at the
I ended up saying I liked the Snyder Cut more than his other previous DC movies, even though I didn't like them overall. Go ahead, Disparu.
if you look at the fresh review there, does that sound like a positive review
Oh,
to you?
we're gonna get to
filtering
that.
of science fiction and general storytelling tropes. It's like, okay, that's supposed to be a great.
Like,
that's what I want to see.
That's
You always kind of got to wonder too, like what portion, like, because I think I've never done Rotten Tomatoes review like these fucking critics are, but you have to imagine they submit their entire review, then they have just one snippet of something that's supposed to encapsulate a short thing of what their actual review is. That looks like a fucking AI synopsis of what this guy's review was. You know what I mean?
Well, can't they write whatever they want to say and then just make it fresh or rotten at the end?
We'll also notice he doesn't have an actual rating underneath it, right? So he doesn't actually give a score.
Right, yeah.
So all he did was click on the fresh button. So this could be a 51% for him.
Wow.
And that's fresh.
Well, so can the German Lustlier in the bottom. He did the same thing. A lot of people just don't do numerical scores. So
Yeah, it's Jermaine Lucier, by the way.
oh fucking no.
I like German
He's
Lust
been around.
better.
He's been around the movie review world for a long fucking time. Jermaine Lucier. I think he used to be with one of the bigger He used to be with one of the big show websites.
Sounds French.
He is a bitch too. So
and gay.
Well, it's IO9.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
French and gay. That's
It tells you everything right there, man.
That's a Gawker
IO9.
site. That's a former, still Gawker. I don't know how it's still around, but whatever. Despite existing in a galaxy with 1,000 star systems and worlds, there is no sunlight in this thing or charm. It is an unrelenting, bleak cosmos that mistakes a lack of humor for a lack of life. Okay. Rebel Moon is a cacophony of sci-fi tropes. It's undeniably beautiful, expertly designed, and enjoyable enough to watch, but leaves a little lasting impression, which honestly could, you're right, Ryan, that could be the same review as the top one that's fresh.
that could be
That
the
sounds
last
more positive.
That could be like
Honestly,
the
yeah.
last. That could be the Last Jedi. What they just
It's undeniably beautifully, expertly designed, and enjoyable enough to watch. But it doesn't
but
leave a
it's
good
trash.
it doesn't leave a lasting impression, so it's rotten.
Oh, so it's Avatar.
Yeah, it could be a template.
Yeah, kind of.
It's Avatar. Julie, I might like this more than Avatar. Julian Roman from MovieWeb says Zack Snyder disappoints in a galaxy far, far away as his space opera franchise stumbles with contrived start. Rebel Moon Part 1. Yes, this is a Part 1.
Part 1? Are you friggin' kidding me?
No, it's a Part 1.
Bloody
Part
freaking-
one,
that's it.
A child on fire.
Piss off and
Unleashed.
screw this movie. I'm not watching it. So bloody sick of Part 1.
It kind of.
So the next one comes out in like March. It's not like 2 years from now. Shit.
Yeah.
I can,
That's what
Pisses me
Spider-Man
off.
said.
I can already see my review. Rebel Moon, a girl boss on fire. Is uninspired mishmash of
Part
familiar
1.
themes. Part 1. Characters and settings taken from classic blockbusters. Well, I mean, everybody knows this is his Star Wars pitch, his R-rated
Right.
Star Wars pitch. And, you know, Star Wars, in defense of Zack Snyder, Star Wars is a hodgepodge, is a smorgasbord of other sci-fi things that George was into, including samurai movies, but it's mostly the Saturday morning serials. Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon.
Right.
That's what inspired Star Wars. So, I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? And
No,
I don't
it's
see
not.
that as a negative
Yeah.
at all. I think that's how great movies are made, is being inspired by things you like. So I like that. That's what I like about this. That's why I want this movie to succeed, is because it's something new based on something he likes. So hopefully it's good. Cross fingers.
when it occasionally finds its groove, it's loads of fun. Unfortunately, there's far too much dead air and leaden meandering with a gaping void where all of the heart and humanity should be. Says Tom Beasley of the Digital Fix. Never heard of it.
This is how my ex would describe me, the same way.
Same here. A hugely expensive but uninspired Star Wars knockoff with some thrilling action sequences and some truly ugly moments that taint the entire thing. From the wrap. Let's go. Let's find Grace. Grace is in here.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, Grace. I saw Grace's earlier.
She's a big
there
Snyder
she is.
fan.
No, she liked it.
She liked
Yeah,
it.
of course. Yeah. she's a Snyder.
All right,
fan.
that means the movie's going to be unmitigated crap.
More Zack Snyder's Dune than Star Wars. The filmmaker's opus isn't likely to win over new fans, but is a treat
There's
for those.
only new fans.
There's no
I don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
fans of Zack Snyder
who appreciate his work. Oh, Batella, Fisher, and Bay are real standouts. I do wish the 2-part movie craze would end.
Hey, she's on your
Damn
side,
it.
Shad. What does
She's
that
on
say?
my side. What's going on?
Go.
Oh my god. Let's go. It's a film. Wait, I was just starting on the one you scrolled past, but it's okay. It's from the Independent UK, famously the citadel of journalism. It's a film populated by some of the Justice League Snyder Cut filmmakers' worst impulses, a mess of imagery, some of it attempting to shock, congregated largely around the idea of what might look good in a trailer.
All right, pull up the. I just dropped the
Snyder
link.
Cut fan. Not a Snyder Cut fan.
I just dropped a link in the private chat. Pull that headline up. That's a scathing headline.
Whip it
there.
out. Whip it out.
All right, there. Blow up the. Increase it so we can read it.
Increase it.
No,
Wait,
increase
this one
this.
or the entire thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. There we go, and just read that. I can't read it from here.
Zack Snyder lacks the.
Nope. What the fuck?
It's fucked my whole screen up. I can't see anything. Go ahead.
What have you done?
Just keep it right there. It's good. Zack Snyder lacks the skill to establish meaningful relationships between any of the 5 zillion different elements he's borrowed from better films to create the worst film of his career. Read our full review. And who's this from?
Yeesh.
IndieWire.
That's from IndieWire. IndieWire. Now, I see, and I will say to your point, I don't like the criticism of people criticizing people that borrow from other movies like Star Wars. To your point, like no one wants to talk about that George took elements from 5 different places, 6, 7 different places of universes and characters. Like that's literally what creation is all about, is borrowing elements of things that inspired you and putting your own spin into it. That's just how it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not a true criticism to do that. It's just not. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I just don't think that's a fair criticism, because that's literally how we've evolved and gotten everything we've gotten. How many people have said after they've made something successful, I was inspired by Star Wars? So suddenly, because it's good, it's okay to be inspired by Star Wars. But when it's bad, it's not a valid criticism. I don't like that criticism at all.
Mm-hmm. They seem to be saying the same thing too. I don't know. They seem to do that a lot. They seem to regurgitate the same criticisms, the same words. Maybe they're just ripping off from each other. I don't know. I don't even know how these people get paid anymore at these rags.
Yeah, I heard that. But I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, the critics score means nothing in the overall scheme of things. It's just a conversation piece for us. We're all going to watch it. We're going to all have our discussions about it next week. I'm sure that we're going to be divided on our takes, which will be great.
Because it's the Zack Snyder movie.
That is true. That is true, because Snyder's never made universally appealing movies. Like even Watchmen, something I think is a downright masterpiece, and you'll find people that just fucking hate Watchmen, hate it with passion, and I don't get that at all. I think Watchmen is just a great film, and I also think Dawn of the Dead is a really solid zombie flick. But you'll find people that just hate all of them for whatever reason. So Snyder just doesn't have any universally appealing movies. He's got very divisive movies, and that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, but I think the problem with this, I agree that it's not a criticism of itself to point out where someone got it from, because there's literally nothing original of creation. It's just a combined into a new unique thing. But people shouldn't be counting that in the first place. There was nothing else in the movie for them to focus on, so they all ended up focusing on the same thing, the thing that was the most obvious. Nobody spoke about the characters. Everyone just said it was about tropes. No one spoke about, I really love this bit. This was a really emotional moment. This really made me feel something. I'll never forget that. That left an impression. And so it just seems like there was one guy said it was just a collection of 1,000 different storyboards. So it was just actions with no emotion or connection or humanity to it, which is why they said it was a soulless thing. And I think that's a problem with
which he's
lots
done,
of Hollywood at the moment.
which he's made in the past. Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
cool visuals, really great visual storyteller, but none of that connective tissue.
Not all directors make good writers, so that's always the issue too. I know that this got mentioned earlier, but if he was paired up with a really good writer, he could probably create something really fantastic, as we've seen in the past.
I've never seen the Owl animated movie he made. Was that
Guardians
that
one?
Yeah, I've never seen that one.
It wasn't
was
too
that
bad.
one pretty?
I think I watched it once, but it was a fun family action
An
movie.
animated Zack Snyder movie. That's pretty interesting. It's just
I had no idea
again,
that was
I've
a
never.
thing.
Well, he better have his fun, because the days of he's going off of an older deal. So the days of the streamers throwing out, tens of millions of dollars to get this talent to do in-house stuff are over. We're just seeing the holdovers now. They don't have the money to do this. They're all going to be, even Netflix is going to be scaling back. They're going to be scaling back on productions. The Hollywood in its entirety is going to be halved over the next, thanks to the strike. So well done, Film Actors Guild and WGA. You just put a lot of people out of work forever.
It's probably for the best, though.
Yeah.
Film Actors Guild.
Well, I heard that they're not getting a lot of scripts. Like,
I'm never going to let it go.
Go ahead.
I heard that a lot of they were expecting to receive a lot more scripts. They assumed that writers would be writing during the break and have a lot of things ready to go, ready to submit as soon as it was up, and they're just not getting that. And from what I've been hearing, it's almost like the writers think they can get a better deal, almost like elsewhere. I don't know if that explains why there aren't enough scripts.
They're not getting enough scripts because they fucked around, and maybe they were told not to write during the strike, which they could have done. If you're writing on your own, you can absolutely do that. That's not part of the parameters, but maybe those idiots took a lot of it literally and just put their pencils down and didn't write anything. I don't know. But yeah, they're not getting as many scripts, and we're going to have this huge desert next year. There's not a lot coming out. So it's going to be COVID part 2. We're still going to get some stuff, but that was the stuff that was either made in the UK or stuff that they just got finished, or stuff that just needed a little bit at the end. But most everything has been pushed out to 2025. And once you get people out of the habit of something, Bob Iger brought up, ticket sales are down, 25%. He said they're 75% of what they were. I think it's a little lower than that. But let's just say they're down 25% from before COVID. Well, what if they go down another 25%? Because, that COVID was a year and a half. And people just find other things to do. Plus, you're competing against yourself. There's plenty of old stuff to just go watch or other things to do. We don't even fucking need Hollywood.
Good classics. You don't need
that's what a lot of theaters did. They replayed older movies.
YouTube. Well, that's the consequence. We're seeing a lot of this with the whole cancel pig thing with comic books, which is fucking beautiful. We're seeing the consequences of the actions of the creatives attacking fans and now attacking the people who actually sell their books. And Hollywood has been attacking fans for 5 years. They just didn't understand that half the country did enjoy their stuff, and now Hollywood basically, to use their terminology, othered half the country. And now they're like, how come the bigots aren't buying our movie tickets anymore?
Gee, I wonder.
They're going to pretend like it's COVID. It was COVID the whole time. That's the only reason.
Or it's the strike.
All this. Well, the strike is because of COVID, and this COVID is because of strike.
Yeah.
And then none of it's going to be the actual problem was the creatives that you hired don't respect the audience that you need to go watch your product and your media.
My favorite comments. Yeah, my favorite comments are the ones where they say, "You don't like my politics, don't buy my books." And there's like, why aren't people buying comics anymore?
I think they genuinely didn't understand the size of the people that disagree with them, because they fired everybody that would disagree with them or stand up to them. So they live their entire life, and everybody thinks this, and so they just assume it's the same outside of where they are. You see the same thing with the BBC in Gatwa, who said, "I live in a very leftist bubble." So yeah, you work for the BBC. What a surprise! But to him, it was like, "You'll never guess this, folks." And so Hollywood, they genuinely thought that it was a tiny fraction of people that would just disagreed with them because we're the moral upstanding people, and so we don't care about them. And they're like, oh, actually, that was most people. We're the strange ones. That's what they can't understand.
There's a MTV Movie Awards back when they were good 20 years ago. They did this little snippet with Jack Black as Spider-Man. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Remember when he's designing the costume? and and it's like not gay enough. That's what Doctor Who did. Not gay enough, and they actually thought that was a good strategy, which is
They're like, first Christmas special trailer, we're gonna show him in a gay club dancing with a dress on.
Yeah.
And then in the
I don't
episode, they're gonna
Garrett,
be
there's a
eating
large
children.
gay audience that watches the show. I mean, come on.
What he said,
Yes,
we're going to have
the
one episode.
Bros audience.
We're going to have one episode that leans into it. It's like, what have you been doing before? Like, what's that episode going to be like if we weren't leaning into it before?
It's like, what?
Yeah, I mean, we are in a really weird place now because it's look at everything that's going on and look at the results. When's the last time we had a Star Wars movie in theaters? 2019, correct?
Before COVID.
Rise of Skywalker, right?
Yep.
You know, Star Wars shows, there's not a lot of momentum behind them. The Marvel Cinematic Universe, we just saw the results of that, and it's even bleeding over into DC, which DC's not even failing because of necessarily wokeness as much as something like Star Wars and Marvel, but it's failing for a different set of reasons. And the interest is not there, man. And where are those people going? Where is that money going? Where is that time going? It's going to places like YouTube. It's going to places like video games. It's going to places like that. That's where people are putting their time, energy, passion, and money into, because they're not just not putting that into something. It's just they're not putting into Captain Marvel went from 1 point what? How many billion? Was it 1.2? The first one? 1.2 billion to $200 million. We have never seen anything drop off like that from one film to another. We have never seen anything like it. And the result is showing across the board. People just don't care. They don't care.
And we're going to see it twice within 2 months, Jeremy, because
Yeah.
it's going to happen again
Aquaman.
with Aquaman too.
Yeah.
It seems like they have no forethought. They're not thinking of the future. Like the generational pass down of fandom is integral to keeping your franchise alive. The reason that Star Wars was even relevant in 2012 is because of the generational pass down of the fandom. And this, we see this across the entire Hollywood brass. None of them seem to understand that if you don't respect the fans that you have now, they will not pass it to the next ones. They imagine that there's this Gen Z group that is going to come in and watch movies, but why would they watch movies when they have TikTok, they have video games, they have streams, they have all of these things that they don't go to the movies anymore. They don't care. And the way you treated fans before COVID, and then what COVID did was just exacerbate the entire problem. And now you got people that just completely disconnected and will not go back. And we were already going to head there, but then COVID just sped that process up, and now we're there. And they just don't seem to know what they're doing, how to get out of that.
Yeah, these are simple things that aren't very complicated, and yet the people that they've hired have complicated them very much so. And there's no real leadership. There's no real vision. You know, and I'll bring an example up of something that half the chat's going to call me gay for bringing up, but Fortnite. Fortnite just had a major change to their game. There was a massive fucking backlash online from the fans. You saw people that worked for Epic kind of start saying, oh, they're being toxic, but Epic officially came out and said, hey, we hear you. We're going to work on it. We're going to update it. They updated it and they fixed it within a week.
Good for them.
It's over. It's done.
7 million players concurrently.
Yes.
What was the
44
problem?
million.
They changed the movement in the game, and I hated it, and everybody hated it. They changed the movement, which the movement in Fortnite has evolved wonderfully over the years. And then this latest update, they changed the movement, and a lot of people hated it. And you saw a lot of people. The developer that changed the movement came out and was all proud of himself, and he got fucking annihilated on Twitter for it. But to that point, Fortnite, that's one example. Guess what just happened with Starfield? The developer for Starfield came out and trashed the fans. Yes, for all the backlash. And do you know what's also funny about? You know what's funny about Starfield?
It's
More
boring.
People are talking about Az's rant about Starfield than are actually talking about Starfield. Go fuck yourself, Starfield. All right, that's what's funny. I'm telling you, go online. More people are talking about Az's rant about Starfield than are actually talking about Starfield, as was right. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, buddy.
Right. Too bad he can't be here to enjoy it, but he was right.
We don't have to optimize our game. Just get a better PC.
No, you don't need to No, we don't need to optimize our game. We just need to find better fans. That's
good luck with that.
That's right. That's what their attitude is. We can choose our fandom. You don't get to.
But my point being is that it has nothing to do with the fact that I do like Fortnite or whatever, but I'm plugged into that world. So if they would have responded the wrong way, it would have had you think, because look what's happened to Call of Duty. Now I know Call of Duty still sells a lot, but the fact that Call of Duty doesn't listen to their fucking fans is going to catch up with them. It just is. They don't listen. Fans have been complaining for years and they ignore them. It will catch up, just like it caught up to Marvel, because everybody who thought Marvel could not fail, Star Wars could not fail, it is failing because you have disrespected the fans. It's not hard to respect the people that are giving you fucking money. It's not hard at all.
Yeah, the thing about it too, which is marketing 101, is that it's a lot cheaper to keep an existing customer than it is to get a new one. All these companies should know this, and of course, they don't. Apparently,
they don't care. It's the simple thing. Something given has no value. If you create an IP, you care more for it than if you inherited it from somebody else. And the issue with these is someone will be given a movie and they won't do all the next movies. They're just onto the next project. And so if you do a major movie, you see it recently. Oh, I'm in Indiana Jones, and now I'm hired by Amazon to do Tomb Raider. I'm just going to go off to somewhere after that if that bombs. And so they still get paid. They don't care at all. They burn up a franchise like fuel, move on to the next thing. So they don't value the IP. They don't value the
That's the corporatism.
Yep.
And it's almost like a level of maliciousness. They come in actively hating the IP at times. Like what, Taika Waititi, didn't he say that he never liked Thor in the first place? And so they go in and then because they don't like it, they are more than happy to just absolutely demolish certain elements of it and remake it in their own image. And I find that one of the greatest acts of like cultural vandalism. Like, it's true maliciousness, especially like when it's someone else's legacy that they are just desecrating, like the Wheel of Time adaptation.
Did you see the movies? They're doing 3 prequel movies for Wheel of Time.
I heard about that.
I was like, why isn't Brandon Sanderson writing them? Like, that's what I want. Like, not even involved. It's just some random person.
Jennifer Salke. She is actively involved in Wheel of Time and Rings of Power. She's not actively involved in things like Reacher,
The Terminal List. Yeah.
So,
thank God.
Weird.
Little birdie
Keep that
told
hoe
me.
away.
Little birdie told me Rings of Power season 2 trailer is imminent. Is imminent within the next month.
I kind of feel like Rings of Power is going to drop off as hard as Marvel and Star Wars in terms of just the overall interest. It's going to drop off hard.
Look at the interest in Wheel of Time season 2. There was none.
Oh yeah,
dead. And like, I still reviewed it because it's my duty, and I love this series so much. Sorry, the book series that they need to be held to account and called out for the bullcrap. But the interest in season 2 compared to season 1, it was stark. Barely anyone gave a crap.
So if say Rings of Power season 1, how many? The retention of their audience was only 37%.
Only 37% of people in the United States finished the series.
Finished the series. So 37% is okay. Let's just be nice, and they'll be back for season 2. There will be a drop, a very similar drop from that 37%. It's going to be disastrous, and I am here for it. And I hope it comes out really soon. Looking at you, Dan Bask. Looking at you.
The amount of lies.
There's another season of Star Trek coming out. Did anybody fucking know that?
Did you know?
Discovery?
Discovery.
Hey, are you serious?
Yes, in March, the final season.
Wow.
By the way, Sneak with Martin Green. You've all heard of her, right? The captain.
Yes.
Michael Burnham didn't know it was going to be her last season. They didn't bother telling her, and like the CW network, which never turned a profit, Paramount Plus, formerly CBS All Ass, has never turned a profit. As a matter of fact, the headline from earlier this year is they only lost $238 million on the streaming service.
That's virtually every streaming service, with the exception of Netflix sometimes and Max. Ironically, Max, the company that a lot of people are saying has a 60% chance to go bankrupt, Warner Brothers Discovery, Max is the only one of these that's turned a profit.
So that's the important part of this headline. So Paramount is run by Sherry Redstone, and it looks like that she's going to get bought out. So it's not technically going to be sold, right?
It's a suspicious amount of women running these companies.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, Sherry
Bob
Redstone.
Iger.
Well, she inherited that from her
Catherine
dad.
Kennedy.
Yeah.
Her dad was Sumner Redstone.
Yes. This is true. Famously had like a young hot wife when he was like a corpse.
Yes.
A walking corpse.
That's the life right there.
That is the life, baby.
Everybody strives to have enough money so that when they're 85 years old and fucking can't even get a boner, some hot chick still wants to marry you. That's the kind of money everybody wants.
That's what it is. By the way, he just died. Like, he died recently. It was like within the last couple of years, right? And he was like 100,000 years old.
He lived to be like 200 years old.
Yep. So here's the important line in this. As Mogul entertains offers for relinquishing control of the historic studio, some suitors seem more interested in flipping assets. So Kurtzman Trek didn't bring a single dollar to CBS All Access and Paramount Plus, yet they kept pushing this shit out. Now, famously, Star Trek Discovery was Netflix flipped the bill. Midnight's Edge reported this a million years ago. Netflix flipped the bill for the first 3 seasons. That's why it stayed around so long. And yeah, that's what they should do. They should remember earlier this year, the one of their major investment banks said you should just stop streaming and just license stuff. And that's it looks like what they're going to do.
Money that way.
But this could be far too late. The beginning of the end for Kurtzman Trek. Far too late. The damage is done. You know, I would vault it for 10 years and hopefully somebody can bring it back. But yeah, it looks like Paramount, you know, in the streaming wars are long over. There are whispers of Warner Brothers going into bankruptcy, and Paramount's it's going to get bought out. And Skydance was involved in it. I don't know if they still are, but it's not looking good.
This is what they get. This is what they get for buying into the woke agenda with all of their employees, all of their creatives, all of their executives, all of their shareholders. This is what you get. The entire industry is burning, and we tried to tell you 5 years ago why. No, you're racist. No, you're sexist. No, you're a bigot. No, we were trying to say, hey, we like these things. Let's keep them around.
Just to give you an idea, Star Trek Discovery costs more to make than Yellowstone. Like all of Yellowstone. All of it. One season. The first season of Star Trek Discovery had ungodly amounts of money put into it. It was like $10 million an episode. And nobody fucking watched it.
That is way too much money for a TV show.
And this is the streamer that has the Sheridan-verse, you know, which is very popular, very successful.
Very.
Except it's not making the streaming service any money. So, you know, Tulsa
doesn't
King,
it air though? Doesn't it air like?
Yeah, they air
network
it.
television.
They also license it out. They also license it out. So.
Because I would say, and again, I don't watch Yellowstone like when it releases. I watch it like after the fact. But like, it's got the audience that Yellowstone brings in more of an older audience, more of the old.
But it's
guard,
massive.
Obviously.
It's
it's huge. It's the most popular show on television.
It's what we were talking about yesterday when we were doing Reacher, where it's like, this is getting insane ratings. A ton of people are tuning in, but there's not a lot of buzz. Like, not a lot of people talk about it. And I think it's just because it's like the Yellowstone audience, probably a little bit older demographic that isn't on social media talking about who they're shipping this week and bullshit like that, you know?
But big enough to where you can get 3 to 4 spin-off shows.
Is it
all connected to the same universe?
Is it possible that that's
actual
the Avatar audience? Is that the Avatar audience? Because I don't know where the fuck they are either.
Maybe, no, the Avatar audience all look exactly like fucking X-Ray Girl.
Yeah, they're all overseas in the East.
Do you guys think like a Disney would buy Paramount?
I don't think they're in a position.
I hope
they're not in a position.
With what money?
Yeah.
No,
I don't think they're in a position.
The fact
I think they may be interested in seeing if they can get a deal to get some of their IPs or license some of their shit. Everybody's going all in on this now, right? Everybody built their own fucking streamers. Now what do we see? Now we see people licensing their shit out to Netflix. Now we see people trying to license other people's shit onto their platforms because they realize that the entire approach that they had is fucking pointless. Right now, the Super Mario Brothers movie is like the number 4 movie on Netflix right now. Because they recently got the Peacock had it for a while, and they're like, hey, we need some fucking money. So Netflix, can you give us some money? We'll give you this. They're like, yeah, sure. Guess what? All the DCEU movies also on Netflix right now.
And Tubi.
Tubi.
Really?
Yeah, they're licensing them out because it makes them money. They got rid of that, which is kind of stupid, but oh well. They went all in. So there was an article from a couple of weeks ago where a major banker dropped the credit rating of Paramount to something ridiculously low, and they're about to scrap it. But the takeaway was, and I'm paraphrasing here, is that banker said, well, streaming obviously hasn't worked, and it will never be as lucrative as the linear TV service. So that's the death knell. If that's what the investors think, then this thing's on the precipice of just falling apart. And that's why going on strike was effing stupid.
Mm-hmm.
That's like remember the .com bubble burst? Maybe you're
yes, I do.
That's
Intimately.
like all the workers going on strike right before the .com bubble burst.
Yeah,
it's dumb.
Honestly, it tracks. It tracks with the
it would be
Hollywood.
It does.
It would be like one of the most important members of Friday Night Tights taking the whole month of December off. It would make no sense.
But unlike Hollywood, we had our record episode right after.
You know, the only thing he's going to take from that is going to hear the most important member of Friday Night.
He's just like smoke mode at the moment.
Right, so
You're boring.
You're boring.
All right.
Rest in peace, buddy. Rest in peace.
Az.
Love you, Az.
his ghost is going to
Have a
haunt us
good
on that
time.
one.
Right. Well, one of
He's
the
gonna
biggest...
haunt us anyway, then rest in piss.
Rest in piss.
Well, one of the biggest indicators that woke Hollywood is absolutely failing is Disney. Disney has had a rough year. Woke Hollywood's had a rough year, but Disney's had the worst, and it looks like the revolt is on, and shit's getting serious.
I love
Good.
it. I love seeing this.
Good.
They get what they friggin' deserve.
Yep.
Good.
So I guess Nelson Peltz approached Disney before doing this and said, "Hey, I want a spot in the board," and they said no.
Well, not only that, he approached and said, I want a couple spots, and they said no and put 2 different people on the board.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So just kind of to smack them down, and now it looks like a proxy war is on the way.
That's what interested me about the Iger interview. He kept talking about the activists, and what he was referring to is activist investors.
Yes.
He wasn't referring to activists within the company as employees. So it showed the direction that interview was coming from.
Well, yeah, and now it's coming out like within the letter that was sent, right? It's like investors don't need to do anything now, but they pointed out how many people on the board actually have stock in Disney, and it's like minuscule. It's like none of them have a stake, like a real stake in the company.
Combined, they own like 15.
Yeah, go figure.
Yeah, combined, they own like $15 million worth of Disney stock, which obviously that's a lot. But compared to what a lot of other boards and like the investment they have, that's not necessarily a ton. And so Trian, they're the investment group that has all like Perlmutter's stock and shit like that. They're coming from it saying, hey, all these people on the board, they're not really there for the betterment of the company. They're there to do exactly what Iger wants them to do. Right. We have a shit ton of, we represent, $6 billion or whatever in Disney stock. We want to do what's best for the company, not what's best for Bob Iger or his legacy. What we're going to do is best for the company and the shareholders. And the fact that they have the former CFO, who once at one point was seen as like one of the people that Iger was grooming to potentially take over until didn't get the promotion he wanted, had a bad split, and he left the company. Like, that's very telling too. But now you got Ike Perlmutter, who's got an axe to grind with Bob Iger. You got James Ursulo, who's got an axe to grind with Bob Iger, kind of teaming up in this effort.
This is gonna get
Man,
ugly.
this-
This is gonna get.
This,
ugly.
this is like Game of Thrones. This is
yes,
backstabbing
yes.
and revenge. Like this should be its own TV show. I love it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, if they
I love
actually made this into a movie, people might watch it.
I know.
Be far more interesting than the crap they've been putting out.
This is the most.
Turn Bob Iger black.
Yes. Race
Needs
swap
to be
them.
more diverse.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, I mean, this is not the end. This is only the beginning for the problems of Disney. It's finally because it's one thing when you've got billion-dollar films coming out left and right, but when you're losing money, I mean, how many straight films now? Maybe not straight. How many films have they lost money over on the last couple of years, Ryan? Like how many?
I mean, how many? Probably like 20 or so. in the
Most
past
of
couple
them.
years.
It's been bad. It's been
Most
bad.
of them, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just,
really
it was
bad.
this
Any
year
straight
they've
films.
broken even on one fucking movie, and that's Guardians of the Galaxy, and they probably made a minuscule, 10, 15, 20 million dollars off of it.
And even that still was a failure because it should have made $1 billion plus easily.
Yeah.
Easily,
And,
it was affected
so,
by
yeah.
all the other movies, and the fact that it's like it's 7 out of 10. It's not the greatest thing ever, but
Oh, I disagree. That's
what?
a 9 out of 10
Guardians
movie.
3?
Yeah, 9 out of 10. It's my
It's
second
9
favorite.
out of
10?
9
Se-
out of
sec-
10.
second favorite Guardians movie, which I
It was-
loved part
Nah.
3. I fucking love Guardians 3. Fantastic movie. And
Have you
tonally
watched it
shift-
again?
I've watched it twice. Yep. And I liked it
Recently?
even more the second time.
Yeah, it gets knocked down 3 points because Warlock is fucking lame.
I will agree with that. I will agree with
Warlock
that.
is
He's not
really
good. Yeah,
cooked.
he's not good. But I love Guardians 3.
But okay, so the Marvels, complete failure. Obviously, that should be embarrassing enough. That should cost a lot of people their jobs, and it hasn't cost anybody their job. And they haven't, as Ryan just said, most of their movies have lost money. I just want to point out that earlier this year, I was told, me and Drinker were told that Marvel had been massively misreporting their budgets. And then later on, we learned with Doctor Strange that was true. We learned about a couple of weeks ago, and it was out there already. So we knew Captain America 4, the one without Captain America, is being completely reshot. Now, I would suggest putting Captain America in the Captain America movie if you're going to reshoot it, but I guess that's not going to happen. We were told that the entire movie's being reshot. And it turns out they're bringing in a new writer. So it's this company's a total disaster. It can't even be covered up anymore. And it was obvious 2 years ago, folks. It was obvious 2 years ago in the very beginning of COVID. And the fact that it's lasted this long shows that it's a board who has no stake in it. None of those fucking assholes on the board watch their own shit. None of them did.
Yeah. Well,
Nobody
it seems like if they were
cares.
smart, they would shit can that movie, because if they're going to redo it completely from scratch, how much is that going to make this movie cost at this point?
Well, that's the thing is you put so much into these movies, and there's contracts, there's product placement. You can't check, legally you can't. You have to put them out.
Jesus Christ.
That's the position. Hey, and when you plan a big multiversal saga in advance, maybe you should actually plan it. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's generally the smart thing to do. But
Right? But they don't. They just go on the fly. So Disney responds to unsolicited nominations of Nelson Peltz and ex-Disney CFO James Rasulo. By the way, he was there. He left in 2015. That was pretty good era for Disney. 2015, pretty good era.
Geek, really.
He did a lot of stuff with the parks. I don't know if Jeremy's probably maybe more familiar with them than I am, but I know he was pretty heavily influential in a lot of park positions over his last decade there.
Yeah, I'm not overly familiar with that name, so it doesn't ring a bell to me. So I'm not sure what all he was involved in.
I'm not
Say
sure
the name
either.
one more. James what? Because he did skip out. James
Rasulo. I would say Rasulo, not Rasulo, but I don't really know.
I don't know either. Yours sounds
I
better.
would say Rasulo.
Yeah, Rasulo.
Rasulo.
Rasulo is.
There you go.
Some of the chat are saying Raza Ghul.
Yeah, that's it. Raja Ghul. I'll do with that. To the board of directors, defends existing board as highly qualified. Well, they're highly qualified.
Highly
in
organized?
something. Highly organized.
Radicalized?
They're about. You know what? They're about as highly qualified as we are highly organized. So there you go. Disney has formally responded to the activist shareholder Trian, is it Trian? Trian funds management's unsolicited effort to nominate its co-founder, Nelson Peltz, and ex-Disney CFO, James Rasulo. Is that how we're saying it? Rasulo?
That's how you're saying it.
Fucking A.
Say wrestling. Say wrestling.
Wrestling.
man.
Wrestling. To the Media's Giants board of directors, the company said a board committee will review the nominations, but it will be made. But it also made the point of noting that Trian has teamed up with former Marvel Entertainment boss Ike Perlmutter. I love bitter billionaires fighting each other. It makes me so happy.
Great. Yeah.
We need so much more of this.
Everyone needs a hobby.
Everybody needs, you're right. Disney earlier this year rejected a request from Trian for a presence on the board. It has described Perlmutter as having a long-standing personal agenda against CEO Bob Iger. Yeah, because he fucked him over. I mean, are you not supposed to have a personal agenda if somebody fucks you over? I mean, come on. Perlmutter, a long time is. You know what they did? They ran out and called the guy racist.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be a little pissed too.
It's like, I'm not even deserving an original insult.
Yeah. Perlmutter, a longtime associate of Peltz's, was removed from Disney's executive ranks by Iger reportedly after clashing with Marvel chief Kevin Feige over film budgets. Rasulo, meanwhile, at one time was considered a potential successor for Iger. His run as the executive lasted from 1986 to 2015, including the last 5 of those years as CFO. He had also served a stint as chairman of the company's Parks and Resorts division. In a statement, read in the following below, Disney defended its existing board. Disney has an experienced, here we go, diverse and highly qualified board.
Sure.
Out of here. Can we just point out the fact that Perlmutter was fucking right? When he argued with Kevin Feige over the budgets of these films, he was right.
And a new rule. We're gonna steal a Lamar line there. New rule: unless Ryan Kennel approves it as diverse, it ain't diverse. Okay, that's when you can call it diverse if it gets the Kennel approval.
I to be fair, just based on a random guess, I have no actual knowledge. I would imagine this board would probably pass my definition of diversity. It's probably old white dudes, like all of them. There's probably like one random black woman, and the rest of them are probably white dudes. So I'm down for this type of diversity.
But different shades of white: beige, eggshell.
Yeah.
Bald.
True diversity.
Yeah, I like the Clarkson's Farm.
Yes, I was just thinking that.
Every a type of old white man you can find.
Every type of 60-year-old white man you can find here. It's so diverse. So yes, you know what? Failure is diverse. There you go. Highly qualified board that is focused on the long-term performance of the company's strategic growth initiatives, including the ongoing transformation of its business. What did that say? We're going to continue to grow the company. Okay, that's good. How have you been doing so far? Not so good. The succession
Transforming its business from a successful one to a failure? Is that
hope is not a strategy? Okay. Exactly. The succession planning process and increasing shareholder value. So how are you going to do that? Well, we're going to be diverse. Okay. All right. How's that worked out so far?
Nearly the entire board has been hired since 2018. So it's only gone downhill since they've gone on board.
Wow, that I did not know. And
I'll put the link in the chat.
It's a bunch of oh yeah, we're gonna have to look at that in a second.
I think this might be out of date as well because they just added 2 other people to the board. So I don't know how and I don't see those on here. So I'm not sure how up to date it is.
Hey, credit to Disney, their diversity and inclusion officer didn't steal $4 million from the company. Like with Meta.
That was funny to hear that.
She took a note from BLM.
That's my business model.
The board's
at this point, if you have a legitimate diversity, inclusion, representation officer or anything that remotely resembles that, your company is set to fail. That's an automatic red flag.
Yeah.
Automatic red flag.
Isn't Ryan our one though?
Yeah.
No, that's unironically though.
I thought it was unironic anyway.
I do have the most experience of anyone here.
If they're unironically, a diversity hire.
No, I totally agree. Like it shows what their agenda is and what their priorities are, especially when they use the like diverse as a type of statement of quality. It's like that doesn't mean anything. If anything, actually, it means that your priorities are completely skewed and you've got a woke agenda, which means you're probably going to be putting out crap. So yeah.
I don't want a bunch of different ideas. I want the good ideas. What does it matter if it's diverse or not?
That's also taking a shot at Ike Perlmutter. Make no mistake about it. That word diverse being in there was taking a shot at Ike Perlmutter.
And with Disney, this is why I don't believe there's any chance that Disney corrects course, and it's really because it doesn't matter if for some strange reason, let's just hypothetically say Bob Iger does want to fix things and does want to start getting things back. He can't because of the activists that are in his company. He doesn't have the ability. When you're surrounded by these freaks, you don't have the ability to make any rational decisions anymore. You are beholden to them. So they don't have the ability to correct course right now because of the people they have hired. When you are surrounded by those types of people, you are beholden to them. That's why Disney can't get out of the garbage that they're in, even if they wanted to.
No, as you said, this goes for all of woke Hollywood, pretty much. You'd have to Twitter this place. You'd have to gut everything.
Yep. And can you imagine, like, if you started doing that, the remaining staff that you have left would walk out? Because if they think that the fans are racist, now imagine going up to them and going, "Oh, by the way, we're hiring these people." Like that would be an abomination to your entire staff. Half of them would leave just if you tried to do it. So, hey, maybe it's a benefit to try.
It's true.
It's like, didn't Elon send out a message going, "If you don't want to work hard, leave," and like half the company left immediately?
Everybody left, but, like the Indian
Problem
guys.
solved itself.
Bye.
Yeah, basically just all like the fat gamer nerd programmers. Like they're the only ones that stuck around.
I mean,
right.
did you see the images of Twitter before Elon, Twitter after?
Yes.
And
Yes.
just the general makeup of employees changed. Let's just say it changed.
Yep.
Come in 15 minutes late.
I was like,
And not as many women making TikToks of their fucking day.
Exactly. You got a bunch of guys working at Twitter that look like they haven't bathed in a week. And they don't sit there,
Including Elon.
including Elon. Exactly, but like when you had all of these women walking in, or these gay dudes walking into Twitter, like perfectly dressed, and they had their makeup on, they're all pretty to go do a job that no one really sees them anyway. That's a big problem. When you have this dude that has a bathe that's got nachos on his shirt, smells like crap.
I want to be
that
able
guy's
to
gonna get
smell
more
the
time.
photo.
Or it's just got Dorito residue on it.
Right?
Yeah.
So in all those TikTok videos, for one, have you noticed all the girls take off early? They're like, and I took off early to go to some party or something like that.
Yeah.
So I want to see, I want to see the programmers' TikTok videos where, he's actually eating the Doritos. We see the crumbs falling on his shirt, and he's like, I woke up this morning and passed 2 kidney stones from all the energy drinks I've been drinking. And then
It's like I woke up this morning at my desk where I passed out last night. Shotgunned a monster, went to the bathroom, jerked off for a second. Then I worked for 5 hours straight until I realized it was time to eat something, and my coworker handed me a bag of Doritos, which I wolfed down as I was taking a 15-minute break perusing the latest World of Warcraft news. And then I got back and then Elon told me we've got a big problem, that people just keep saying the N-word and the F-word on Twitter. We got to do something. So I wrote up a quick code to actually amplify that as a joke. Elon thought it was funny, but told me to change it because the advertisers pulled their funding.
I got so confused, right? I thought you were describing us for like most of that.
That's
That
true.
guy sounds cool.
So Disney, home of the Force is Female in the MCU, is facing a little bit of a problem. Another one. Disney faces pay equity. Not equality. Equity claims from the thousands of female employees after losing bid to halt class action certification. Time to grow up, plaintiffs, lawyers says of Mouse House. I don't know the ins and outs. All I know is I hope these ladies sue the fuck out of them and win. I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for you, ladies. The Force is Female. Go, girl.
Okay, I'm gonna point this out. Out of personal experience, pay equity destroys companies. Flat
but
out.
what it is, it's a change in the language. It used to be if you do the same job, you get paid the same thing. Now they've changed it to if
But
you
that's not
do a
pay
job
equity,
of equal
though.
value, then you
Yeah.
get paid the same amount of money. So
Yes.
that means you're comparing different jobs and different roles and different departments, and you can basically pick whoever you want and go, I want his money. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's
like,
the reason why it
imagine,
destroys
like,
companies.
the executive director of, say, the kitchen in a hotel, like if somebody happens to have that title, right? Versus like an executive director of like a big part of the studio. That's kind of what Disney was arguing. They're like, because we got 9,000 women who say they weren't paid as much because they're comparing things across different locations, different types of businesses, different job responsibilities. How can we be expected to do that? And the judge basically says, what, you can't fucking figure it out? Figure it out. And for almost any other company, in their situation, what I would say is, I think there's a lot of reason why maybe these women weren't getting paid as much. Maybe they had different responsibilities. Maybe they're not as good as their fucking jobs. Maybe they're really bad at negotiating and they were able to kind of, get taken advantage of in a negotiating window. They weren't willing to ask for more. Because those are a lot of the reasons that actually go into why women get paid less at times.
Right.
Those are.
Yes.
But
No,
in
no,
this
just
case,
on that note, like I want to
Yeah.
jump on because statistically, it's actually been recorded that women ask for raises less often than men. Just for the same type in the same job field and everything, and that's just one reason amongst many that explains if there is a
Well, the
difference in
boss
pay.
should just give me a raise when I do good things. I shouldn't have to ask.
Women are less confrontational and more agreeable in those type of situations and like business shit for the most part.
Every job I've had, I'm like, holy shit, you're offering me the job? And I don't even think of it.
Disney is so amazed. They've spent years telling the women that work for them, it must be so horrible to you because you're getting oppressed by men. And so and then they're like, well, I'm going to sue then. You're oppressing me. Like, no,
Yeah,
we didn't mean that. We didn't mean us. Everybody
I know.
else is oppressing you.
But not us.
This is the bed they made. They can lay in it. They get what they friggin' deserve.
get
They've
what
been
you
tortured.
negotiate.
Hey, at least we make our beds.
Well, all I have to say is if they win this lawsuit, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be laid off because, like I said, it basically destroys companies and it's going to hurt their employees.
It's a bad precedent, too.
It is.
We're talking about 9,000 or more women
That's a lot
over like years.
That's a suspicious amount of women.
So even if you're talking about a pay discrepancy of 2 or 3%, bro, 10,000 women at 3% pay over like a lot of years of salary. Phew,
That's
So-
binders
so-
of women right
So,
there.
are they going to get hung based on the fact that they have been claiming we will pay, the same amount, like regardless of job performance or anything like that? That was Disney kind of proclaiming the equality standard that they were pushing. Was that going to be able to be held
They
against them
probably
legally?
locked themselves into this problem. They, like by shouting out all this equity and equality shit, they brought it on themselves.
Yep.
This class action lawsuit is due to their policies. And you know what? Fucking go for it. And California is so fucked up. I don't know where the lawsuit is. It based in California? It must be.
Yes, that's the reason it's there. Yeah, it's a California Equal Pay Act. It's the biggest class action they've ever had under the.
That's a big problem for
Equal Pay
Disney.
Act.
That's a big
Yeah,
problem.
they're
You know what?
screwed.
I don't think Florida would have let this thing go through, but California would. Oh well.
Oh,
Talk about
they-
making your
they-
bed.
Yeah,
I would be a little
yeah.
surprised if it.
Legitimately going to do reparations. This is the same state that I think subsidizes being trans.
Yep.
And homeless.
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
And crack
Strangely
pipes.
enough, I don't miss
Crack
it
pipes,
at all.
yeah.
I don't miss
Yeah.
California.
I wonder why.
It's weird.
There's just certain little things that Disney isn't doing that is common sense. Like, for instance, we just heard today Netflix resumes advertising on Twitter X. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And
I don't
Disney's
think
not
they
gonna
ever
do
went
that.
away. Sorry to interrupt you, Jeremy, but
Yeah,
I was seeing Netflix ads yesterday. So I don't think
Yeah.
they ever really went away. Sorry.
Yeah,
The
and-
card didn't go through.
Is it like when you can't do Netflix and you still have it for 30 days and they just re-up?
Yeah,
Well,
that could've
Netflix would have been in
it.
the perfect position. Everyone else stops advertising. They get all the cheap ads. That's when you want to be on the platform.
Yeah. And so, but Disney won't make, that's just a simple decision. And that's not gonna solve all of their problems, but it's little things like this that are adding up for them that are going to hurt them in the long run. And Bob Iger is not in a position to even, like, especially Elon's already put the pressure on him now, wonderfully. But Bob Iger's not even in a position to be able to change that now.
He can't.
And he can't even if he wanted to. So yeah, because Elon's gonna walk out like Vince McMahon with his grapefruits if Bob Iger comes running back. He's just gonna be like, "What's up, Bob?" Like he's just gonna troll him. That's all he's gonna do. So and Iger deserves it. But little things like that just are continuing to add up across the board, and I just think Disney's in for a really, really rough next few years, and I have no idea what that looks like, but it's not going to be good for them.
Papa Iger hasn't had a good year. He's been back for a year, and there's going to be a proxy war. Their stock has never gotten back up to where when Chapek was around. They had a bunch of bombs. We got Odin's little chart. You got a chart.
I got a shot. I like doing shots.
Yeah.
Numbers. It's going to drive some people crazy because it's a shot.
Does it Odin? Does it adjust for inflation? That's all I want to know.
Well, so it's this year, so it's really hard to keep up with that rate of inflation. I'm going to be honest.
It really is. Okay, that's fair enough.
Fair enough. It's just like going up as we're looking at it.
Yeah, no, seriously.
You start seeing the numbers go up. Yeah.
It just keeps growing.
Like CNN's death count.
So the total box office. Now I just want to have the caveat because and I'll need some help from Ryan here because I know he has a different metric for things like marketing budgets and break-even points. But using a much more conservative estimate, the film industry this year for Disney saw around $840 million. The only film you could argue had any profit whatsoever was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. However, if you change it slightly, meaning you take into account that maybe the cost is, or the break, basically the theaters get 50%, the studios get 50%, right? Because I go by like a 60-40 split there. It goes all the way up to about $1.1 billion in losses, with the only profits really coming from Guardians, coming $47 million. And this is also not including the fact that the budgets might be higher. We already
that's still conservative.
Right. Did I say Doctor Strange? We know costs $100 million extra. Also, this is having a budget times 1.5, meaning that's the typical marketing cost usually you add on. But I know that some of these films had a lot higher than that. So yeah, even this one as a worst case scenario is still not even the worst case. So we're looking betway between $1 billion and $1.5 billion in losses when everything's said and done.
Yeah, I think $1.5 billion in losses this year is realistic because even a less conservative one than you has it at 1.3, and that's with a lot of factors that are not in it, right? That's with not knowing exactly what the marketing budget of some of these things are. For instance, Guardians of the Galaxy had a marketing budget of $150 million, right?
Yeah.
But the Marvels, we don't know exactly what that number is. It's going to be over $300 million. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was also filmed in the UK. That reported budget is $200 million. It's going to end up way more than that. Dial of Destiny is going to end up way more than it is.
Probably closer to 400.
Yeah, when we finally get those like UK tax documents. So all of this is being as kind as possible to Disney, and they lost over $1 billion easily.
Imagine how much Cap 4 its budget right now. That could be a $400 million movie.
What would off the top of anyone's head here, what would Disney's probably best year in the last decade or 12 years be with
2019?
2019.
$7 billion films. Yeah.
Okay, and so do we know what the profits were for that? Just off, like
Endgame probably made them at least $500 million or more, maybe.
Just about. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, to put it in perspective, this year alone would have wiped out all the profits of probably Avatar, Endgame, and No Way Home.
Damn.
Like the three of their most successful movies in history.
Woo!
All wiped
Disney
out.
Studios closes out 2019 with record $11.119 billion. Sorry, there's a B there.
Billion. Yeah.
Billion.
Happy 100th
That's
anniversary,
a lot,
Disney. Your worst year you've ever had in history.
Congrats.
You earned it.
And your movie that you were having as your 100th anniversary film is going to be one of the biggest losses this year. So
it's almost like all those toxic YouTubers knew what they were talking about all these years.
Wait, I thought we were helping them, Jeremy. So
I know,
we
that's
didn't
what I heard.
help them this year.
We're bad at helping.
What I heard we were just helping them, and they're talking about it, they're funding it. These guys are making them more successful. As our numbers go up, yours goes down. So it's interesting how that works.
And actually, Ryan, So Ryan, I use a 1.5 times number. What would you think would be a more accurate? Because I can do this live, actually. Update this. So what do you think
for the
times the
marketing?
budget? Yeah. Do you think 2 times the budget?
No, I think it just depends, right? I think something like Wish probably it could have even had less than 100 million. You know.
Okay.
So I don't even know if it's worth like arguing about it too much. Certain things though, like Little Mermaid, had to have been more. We know that had to have been more just based on how hard they fucking pushed that shit and the different ads they had at the Oscars and all that. Guardians, we know, is way more.
Guardians, I would say out of all those movies, Guardians had the most aggressive ad campaign that I saw personally anyway. Maybe Indiana Jones, but like just saying to me personally, for the things I was seeing, I saw more advertisers for Guardians than any film from Disney this year. Now, maybe that's because I was interested in it, but I try not to look at it from that perspective, just the fact of what are they pushing the most. And I did see a ton of marketing for Guardians. A ton.
And just changing 2 of those movies that you mentioned, it goes up to 1.4 billion.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and we're not even talking about the TV shows.
No, this is nothing with Disney Plus.
None of that.
And
right.
they put,
and Disney Plus is also losing money. We know
Peter
that.
Pan and
They've
Wendy.
been reporting that.
Peter Pan and Wendy. I think it's cost like 100 million or so to make it. Went straight to Disney Plus. So that's pretty much a straight loss.
Also, Agatha has gone through another title change. It's Agatha all along now. It was.
That's not a meme. I thought that was a meme.
No, there was a different meme.
Yeah, I saw the other meme.
There's a different meme, all anal, which I thought was pretty good.
Fucking hilarious.
That one would make more money.
Will for somebody.
That'd make a lot more money.
Agatha
I would have been more excited about Aubrey Plaza in that show than this one. So
she's good in Legion. Watch her in Legion.
It gets back. Simplicity is all we need, man. You don't need titles, part 1s, part 2s, all this shit. People don't need that. Like something like, you know why what has been the most consistent video game system of all time? The PlayStation. Guess what they named the second PlayStation? Guess they named the third PlayStation.
Sounds like a robot.
And the fourth and the fifth. You know? Am I roboting? Am I roboting?
We're a little bit.
You're good now.
You're
good now.
But we got you.
But yeah, like so when normies go to get the new PlayStation, they know it's the PlayStation 5. You know what I mean? Like it's so easy for normies. All of us know what it is, but when you put these weird names and titles and things attached to something, it just overcomplicates it to the normies and to the general audience out there. It doesn't make sense. These dumb
and
titles.
to Shad, he hates it.
Part 1 and part 2, I do.
Yeah, I was gonna say you mean Rebel
Unless you use
Moon
AI,
Part
and then he's
1,
okay
A
with
Child
it.
on Fire Part 1, 2.
AI would do
point
that.
1.
I think it's a Child of Fire. But yeah.
Yeah, I saw somebody in chat.
Mission Impossible 7: Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Oh, God.
My sources have telling me that the next PlayStation rumored to be called the PlayStation 6. You heard it here first.
What?
No, my source tells me they're just dropping PlayStation and it's just PS. They're just literally calling it PS now.
6.
You know, to bookend the discussion on that we're seeing with the budgets and everything like that, this phrase has been on my mind, and I think it's just worth saying. Get woke, go broke, baby, because that's what they friggin' get. That statement has been proven true this year more than ever
this is
before.
the year of get woke, go broke. Without a doubt. This is the year we were waiting for, the year we knew what would happen because, we understand basic nerd stuff. Fans, none of us are experts on anything, but like we actually read the comic books. We watch these movies. We know these characters. And everything's falling apart now, and they're still running around the Titanic trying to figure out what caused it with like completely ignoring the giant woke fucking iceberg that they ran into.
And they're not changing. Like Iger in the interview, he says, we want to move away from politics, but there's nothing wrong with putting like good values, and which was him basically saying, I'm woke, and we're gonna
the good value of teaching sexuality to a fucking kindergartner. That's such a great value.
Great values.
And he literally just phrased it as I forget the exact words, but it was just something along the lines of trying to make the world a better place, kind of thing. You know, like,
Oh my god!
I think we
Again,
good
values in our
again,
media.
Again, watch
the
Silicon
Baymax
Valley.
show? The Baymax show that had the trans character, but also they talked about a kid's period on that show. They had Baymax talking about that. Like,
And the Muppet
what the hell are you
Babies,
thinking?
They made Gonzo wear a dress and talk about how he felt in the dress and being accepted. They
We're
had it
talking
in the
about
Paw Patrol's movie.
0.0000001% of the Western population. It's 0% of a lot of the other world, but it's such a small percentage of a small percentage, and even that small percentage doesn't believe in all of this shit. I don't know what
that's very true. Like there are, you know, people who identify on the LGBT community who watch Night's Watch and they're like fully on board calling out this crap.
Yep.
And then the other thing, other sides to this kind of pernicious nature of it is that it's a small percentage, but companies like Disney and the whole woke agenda, for some reason, and I'd like to ask them exactly why they want to increase it. They think that did you hear, you know, that thing that Michael Knowles did exposing Pornhub, where how they were actively trying to put in, you know, different content, different stuff to try and get people on board with different stuff. Let's just say it's like, what's wrong with being straight? That's a genuine question. Is there something wrong with being straight?
It's okay to be straight.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy I'm straight, actually.
That's how
you
the
know,
human race
I'm proud that I'm straight. Straight pride worldwide.
But I think it's pretty darn great. I got a beautiful wife. We got 5 gorgeous children that we love, and guess what? I was able to build that because I'm straight. That was
I was born this way, right? Except
I was.
Shad, are you proud? Are you proud?
I'm very proud, Matt.
Good. You should be.
We can't make more gay people without the straight people. So.
Yeah, there's that.
That's true. They need to
They're
buy
working
the
on that,
straight
though.
people's babies and then turn them gay.
It's okay to be straight if you let your kids read porn.
Read porn? Kids don't read porn.
She's a woman.
Books that are in there.
They're there for the storylines and the character development.
Oh, those are the good old days.
Playboy.
Those are the good old days.
Welcome to the part of Friday Night Tights where we go completely off the rails.
Hey, let's show that Disney board again. We've done this in the past, but let's see if they've updated it.
The interesting thing as well with the lawsuits and stuff is if you don't care about any of this stuff, you've got an excuse because you just hired the best person for the job. Who it is doesn't matter. But with things like this, you actually care about it. So you, if anybody in the world is excluded, it's because you did it deliberately, because you planned it and it was all intentional.
Okay.
And so I think the board of directors is the one
you gotta
below.
scroll down. You gotta. This is just their leadership, like executive vice
They
president.
put her number 2. They
her
got
number 2.
The number 2 is the diversity officer.
That is not Ryan
She's the
Kinnell
vice
approved, okay?
And diversity officer.
That is not a Ryan
It's
Kinnell.
obviously the
approved.
most important thing.
Here we
That's
go.
not Ryan Kinnell approved either.
No.
It looks better than the other one, though.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a group of idiots. There you go.
Mark Parker looks like he's holding in a fart.
Yep.
Yes, he does.
Carolyn Everson looks like she just got done as a Fox News host.
Yes.
She's giving me Florida.
Look at the short times we've all been board members,
Yeah,
though. Like 2018, 2017 for nearly all
They
of
all
them.
just got there.
Maria looks like Judge Judy.
But there's 2 more that just got added within the last couple of months. Not up here, I don't
Not
think.
on here.
So yeah, I don't know how often they update this thing.
I
think
those
those are
that
two
care
white
about the
guys.
directors.
But yeah, I think the duration is the most important part. It's just 2017, 2018, 2021, 2022. Like,
Hey,
it's
just take a
super-
good look at their
that's-
faces. If you want to see the faces of failure that have taken a one-story company and turned it into absolute shit, here's your crew. They have.
Well, you can also scroll up for that too.
Yeah, you can scroll up for that.
Hang on. Let me look at these dates one more time. So every single person here, none of them predates The Last Jedi. None
Correct.
of those dates predates
None
the
of
last.
them.
Nope, except for one. Maria. She. Well, that's still the Force Awakens.
2015.
Yeah. So because Force Awakens was 2015, right? And Last
Yeah.
Jedi was 2017.
17,
So,
yeah.
and that's where all their problems started around the 2015 time.
And all of these look like big time nerds who just watch Star Wars and
Oh, yeah,
Star Trek and buy
100%,
comic books and
Totally.
Maybe Calvin.
yeah.
Calvin kind of does.
go to Disney World
Yeah.
all the time with their kids, with their trans
Absolutely.
kids. They go to Disney World and yeah.
Wow.
Jesus.
I don't even
This
need
is-
them to look like that. I just want them to be fucking open-minded people that aren't in this same
Well, they
rut
aren't.
that the rest of
like
Hollywood is in.
all these people are like they're not the ones that is pushing all this shit. They're literally just yes men for Bob Iger. That's who all these people on the board are.
Hey,
that's the bottom line.
These are the kind of people that come up with person of color special screenings.
Yeah, absolutely.
And hey,
Or
Gina,
Christmas
why
parties,
don't you
yeah.
come into a room full of 40 LGBT people so they could all yell at you in a call.
Yep.
That's the kind of
These
people
are the
we're
kind of
looking at.
people that got rid of Gina Carano. They're so behind women that they're getting sued by 9,000 of them and fired one for a meme.
Someone in the chat called it Black Girl Lawsuit. I think that's
yes, and you heard me correct. There is POC screenings. There's a POC screening of Aquaman 2.
Oh my god.
So it's a
Only in the current
non-white.
year.
It's a non-white screening of Aquaman 2, just like that non-white holiday party that the mayor of Boston was going to have. Who's married to a white dude.
White dude. Yeah.
Dude. I don't
It's
know.
all
I saw that
performative,
dude,
man.
and that's a weak chin. That's all I'm going to say. But it's non-existent. But it looks like Pat from SNL. Ever seen like It's Pat?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, that's the thing, and I kind of flipped out about it on the Nooner because Chris mentioned it, and I don't think he wants to get Alan in trouble or anything, and I understand that completely. But what the fuck, a person of color screening? What the fuck are you talking about? So you're bringing other people in by excluding people. You're fighting division with division. You're fighting discrimination with discrimination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of appreciate it because I know I'm not going to end up in the middle of a fight, you know, if I go to another theater.
Well, we all know they'd be losing their shit if there was a white-only screening. I mean,
of course.
Civil rights movement to abolish segregation. You know, they're like,
Bro, but
we're making
but
great
let's call it
strides.
We've gone in.
I mean,
Let's
for
call it-
one, why do you hate people of color for doing it with Aquaman 2? That would be my first question.
but let's be
Yeah,
real.
at least do a good movie.
Let's be real. With the exception of Ryan, there's not a single person on this panel that would be attracted to a all-white screening. Nobody's like that. Nobody
course
thinks
not.
like that, except for Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan would, but everybody else is like, that's stupid. That
It would,
sounds
it
like
would be a nothing. It's like, you know,
Well, it
if you're in
just
the
doesn't sound
country
like-
and there's a different,
It's
like
weird.
it's
yeah.
weird.
I don't
want to
go to anything. I don't
Seems
want to go
kinda
to
tasteful.
anything.
Well, these colleges and universities have for a couple of years now been doing people of color graduation ceremonies.
Yes, they have.
and that's been allowed to happen, which is
It seems like
insane.
those are a lot shorter length than the other ones, but yeah.
We only have an hour.
It's called segregation. It's made
Yes.
its way back.
It's
Great.
insane. It's fucking insane, right? The idea that it's okay that people think that's acceptable. That anybody wants to be in that, first of all, is interesting. Right? That people have been asking for, I need to be included in this space. You need to make sure you promote this. You need to make sure there's checkbox here. But we're allowed to have this own thing where we exclude specifically white people from. That's fucking racist as shit.
It is.
It is.
Like,
Yep.
And it should
But
be.
that's
There's a
special-
film that's coming out. It's about magical black people. It's what I'm looking forward to.
I've got a trailer reaction coming out for that. And like I don't know, like the American Society of Magical Negroes. That is the fucking name of this thing.
I think it's a great name.
Yeah, I said
Hilarious.
Negro like fucking 20 times in the video. I mean, I don't think it's. I think it's okay. I don't think it's
That's
a word
the
I'm
name
not
of it.
allowed to say, but it's not something I say every day. That's for sure.
Do
Great.
we want to watch it?
Do the trailer. We might as well. It's been brought up already. I mean, it can't be any worse than a guy whipping out his.
You know what?
Inch dick.
Suddenly,
Yeah.
I wish I was dead with Az at this moment, right?
This
I just want to
fucking
see the
trailer
funding
before
round
the
for this.
trailer. I hate this shit.
I hate it too. We have another trailer to go over too, which is
I
probably just as
recognize
bad.
this guy from Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Was he magic in that?
guess- He is
was?
magic in Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, wow.
funnily
There you
enough.
He was magic in that. Yeah.
So to set the stage, there's like a trope that's been complained about in movies for a while about the magical Negro, who is like in a old like
Ryan's
a while ago in
enjoying this way
Hollywood.
too much.
Just saying, like, a while ago in Hollywood,
Gather
there'd be
round,
like
children.
your white main character would be at a crossroads or need help or something, and just some random black person who would like solely exist to pass on wisdom or be nice and kind and trigger something with the main character would pop up. Just kind of this token character who sometimes was black to help you along your way in your journey. And this is kind of making fun of that a little bit, which honestly, if it was done well, if it was a good like parody of it, it could be funny as shit.
Right.
But instead, it's a little bit more about how it's so dangerous when white people are upset. That's when bad things happen. So we exist. The Society of Magical Negroes exists to make sure that they stay happy.
I mean,
fuck that movie.
It wasn't made for me.
I totally
I
agree
don't-
with Ryan. Like, if it was just the rom-com stuff, that would have been fine. But they had to put on all these
Yeah,
little race
I agree.
baity shit, white tears. That's fucking disgusting.
We're gonna
That is
get more
gross.
headlines like the Charlie's Angels. Like, this wasn't made for you, white
Right.
people.
Of course.
Movie
Why
didn't
didn't
do well
white
because
people- I mean, if
white
there's
males
any-
didn't go.
Negro movie.
If there's any group of people tiptoeing around another group of people, it would be the opposite.
Well, again, though, it's what it's called projection for. So, so yeah, fuck that
So
movie.
tired of this division
I ain't
shit.
watching it. I ain't talking about that shit.
We
Fuck
aren't
that
done
movie.
with the division because we have another trailer to go over.
Oh, yeah, we do.
What's that?
Civil War.
Oh God.
Civil War.
Oh my God.
So this is
Where's
from
Tim Pool?
A24, and it's not written by Tim Pool. It's not. Although it probably should have been. Because if it was written by Tim Pool, he'd be more accurate about like what kind of a civil war it would be.
Yeah, I think he would be.
That would look a little more accurate.
Because this is a ridiculous civil war, which I mean has given birth to a pretty good meme. I'm gonna say, the meme from
has.
it pretty good. But
yeah.
there's ways you could have, to echo what Ryan said about the last movie. There's ways you could have approached this to where it would have been an interesting premise, and I would have watched it. Absolutely would have watched this. But there's something so fucking ridiculous in this that it's just not even possible to take seriously. And we already know that they're going to take the Orange Man Trump stand-in instead of, I don't know, just a random president, or maybe you can reflect it to the current president. But no, they're still obsessed. Trump is going to be their new Nixon. So the baby boomers obsessed about Nixon for decades. They secretly, like I said in previous live streams, I wish the baby boomers would go. There's some cool ones out there, but I wish the most of them would go to Palm Springs, retire, and jerk off to Woodstock and Watergate documentaries. Because that's what you need to fucking do.
Please.
When you get that old, you have to take Viagra just to jerk off.
Just to jerk off. Hey, we'll crowdfund that shit for you. Just retire and go away.
Put 'em to
And this
pasture.
was made by the Obamas, right?
And
No, that's not this one.
That's the
No,
other
that was
one.
Leave the World Behind.
That's the other one.
That's a
okay.
different apocalyptic movie.
By the way,
Which is also awful.
yeah, produced by the Obamas, made by Sam Esmail, who did Mr. Robot, who has one of the single worst cases of TDS in Hollywood, like beyond repair.
I have not seen this
Oh,
trailer.
he's making
so this is
Battlestar
the first time.
Galactica. So sorry, nerd
Yeah.
cookies. It's gonna be shit.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I haven't seen this
19
trailer.
states have seceded.
The United States Army ramps up activity.
The White House issued warnings to the Western forces as well as the Florida Alliance.
The three-term president assures the uprising will be dealt with swiftly.
Let me know if you want to try anything on.
Are you guys aware there's like a pretty huge civil war going on all across America?
We just try to stay out. With what we see on the news, seems like it's for the best.
How thick does he think she is?
It's like, oh, by the way, you are aware that your country is at war, right? It's like,
yeah, they're trying to make
how
a
would you not be-
commentary on it, but like
Yeah.
we're talking about like the government's bombing American cities. I don't think some clothing store would not be aware of that. That's pretty fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But it sounded like they were aware, but we're just staying out of it, you know? It's like, no, if that it was going to crap to that
If
level,
it goes to
people would be bunkering down.
or you can't stay out of it. You know, you got to protect your family.
I don't know.
and
You'd be
your own.
surprised how many people are pretty thick like that, man.
Well, I mean, we did have COVID, so
yeah.
But
I don't know. Maybe in the middle of like bumfuck Idaho or some shit. Maybe no one's worried about it.
Yep.
No, dude, Idaho's ready to go.
But they're ready. Yeah, they got guns and shit behind there. But
Yeah,
maybe they're just like, hey, we're gonna keep business as usual.
Citizens of America, the so-called Western forces of Texas and California.
Pause.
Would not happen. Would not happen.
Come on.
That's funny about the California part.
The so-called
They show the
forces
map a
of
little
Texas and
later.
California.
I think they intentionally do this because they're trying not to like directly make parallels to reality because the map is ridiculous and none of it makes sense.
Yeah.
But
I think it's an excuse.
What are the Californians gonna do? Throw lattes at people?
Right.
Yes.
What it's going
feces.
what it's going to be is whenever they make like parallels to the actual world or references to it, if you comment on any of those, you'll just have reply guys underneath you going, "Oh no, because they said that Florida and Texas will be on the
Yeah.
same side." It's
It's
just a
just a
movie.
easy California.
I mean,
Californians are gonna be really pissed about those magazine capacity limits.
Yeah, they
are. Going to war with 10 bullets.
Do you think they're going to have the balls to actually explain what causes this civil war in the film?
It's gonna be the Orange Man bad.
Well, I mean, you obviously see a Trump stand in there. Now it could be different, but
Oh, it's Alex Garland. This makes more sense.
Yes,
He did the film Men, I think is what it was called.
Yes, he did.
And then he also did that one with Natalie Portman that was atrocious.
I'm gonna need you to point.
You're gonna,
which
she's
one
done a
that
couple
was.
of atrocious films, dude. What was,
Yeah.
well, just atrocious Natalie Portman film. That's good enough.
Have suffered a very great defeat at the hands of the United States military.
So that's the map. So you have Texas and California.
For one, Texas will be all fuck you all. Yeah, we'll just back out and watch. That's
your
what
shit. Maybe Florida. We might work with Florida.
Yeah, we would. Well, you know what? Look at but if they work with Florida, let's think about this for a moment. The access to the Gulf, the access to oceans, it would be formidable.
They mentioned the Florida Alliance or something. In
Yeah,
this
they
at
do.
some point, too.
Yeah, they
So
do.
it's like you got these neutral states, but don't make any sense. You
Landlocked
got
states would be in trouble. But
these guys. And why would Portland not be with California? And
yeah, that's what I first thought. I
Washington
heard the
would be all
Western
over.
Alliance. I was like, well, that's got to be Washington, Oregon, and California, right?
So,
Yeah.
which states are siding with the president in
I
this?
think this middle swath.
Yeah,
is
it's
white.
that-
Well,
Yeah.
maybe. I believe at some point they say 19 states have seceded or something. So I don't know if those are the. I
Yeah,
don't
they
fucking
showed
know what
that
they mean.
flag and it had 2 stars, and it sounded like only Texas and California were with the president.
So maybe all
Louisiana's
of
in the
this seceded, and then these two are alliance.
That makes no sense.
Right.
Yeah,
It makes-
Louisiana's
it makes-
forces paradise.
Doesn't make it. Let's just fucking watch it. We're not gonna.
Mr. President, do you
Annihilation.
regret the use of airstrikes against American citizens?
Pause. A president's already done that. I want to point that out.
Yep.
Barack Obama.
We've been there, done that.
Obama. Okay.
Well, I think he probably means on U.S. territory. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know, but I just wanted to point that out. Give me
Barack
the
Hussein Obama.
Barack Hussein Obama.
Yep.
We're moving to D.C. today.
We need to go down there.
They shoot journalists on sight in the Capitol. Every instinct in me says.
Okay, there's one
Hang on.
plus. We got one plus. All right. You might have
Were they
sold
trying
me.
to say that to demonize? Or?
Yeah. Yes. They're saying that because the whole thing with Trump and journalists. That's and the fact that most people think that journalists are enemy number one in this country.
No,
because
I'm
they
like,
are.
if this
They're
film,
leaning into that.
Problem with that too.
if
Come
this film is unironically going to try and make the audience sympathize with journalists, it's going to fail.
No. Yeah. It's
Good
not
luck
going to
with that.
happen.
This is death. Blooded.
Every time I survived a war zone, I thought I was sending a warning home. Don't do this. But here we are.
There's some kind of misunderstanding here. What? Well, you're American, okay? Okay.
Is that
What
Meth
kind of
Naaman?
American are
Oh,
you?
sorry.
Yeah, dude.
Stop it. So that's where the
Is
meme
that
is. That's where the meme is. That's
What
not.
kind of American are you?
Hang on.
Okay. What kind of American are you?
So the meme going around is Are you a Last Jedi fan or not a Last Jedi fan?
What kind of Star Wars fan are you?
Yeah, what kind of Star Wars fan are you? It's so good.
Meth Damon in the house. Yes,
That's Meth Damon. Yes, it's Meth Damon.
Meth Damon. Wait, am I the only?
He's a good.
A lot
Jesse
of people in the
Clemens
chat.
or whatever.
Yeah,
Jesse
a lot of people in the chat didn't know that meme. Yeah, Meth Damon is what we
Yeah.
call him from Breaking Bad. So that was a big meme back in the day. So a lot of people in the chat like, no, that's Jesse Plemons. Like, I know,
Yes,
I know.
it's
Meth Damon.
Meth
is
Damon.
I love
the
Jesse
man.
Plemons too. He's great.
So he has lost a lot of weight. You got to credit where credit's due because
He also plays the
fat
same fucking role
fuck.
over and over again now, so he's getting a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
typecasty
Mhm.
on that.
Yeah. And it was that. Well, it wasn't Kirsten Dunst in it, was it?
It is, yes.
Yes.
Holy
It was,
fuck,
yeah.
man.
Kind of phoning it in a little bit.
Yeah.
She was sitting there, just like,
Well,
this
I
is
think-
where we are now.
Well, I think that I thought that too when I first heard the voiceover, and then I watched, and it looks like they probably just went through some crazy shit. And
Oh,
she's
witnessed
like,
something.
Yeah, just like
She's
in a
worked with
state
this
of
director
dismay.
before too.
Yeah.
She was in Annihilation with Natalie Portman. So
Wait, Jesse Plemons and Kirsten Dunst are married? What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Really?
Damn,
Yeah, they the,
I did not know
is,
that.
is he the one she had the sex tape with?
I'm not sure.
Nice.
I didn't know she had one. Was it when she was
Yeah.
hot?
Yeah.
I'll check that out. I'll do a review on that.
You see everybody slowly go to their keyboard very quietly.
Everyone's turning off the camera. He's like, yeah.
Be right back.
I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be back.
Gotta drop out.
Odin's the only one left here.
and Shad, don't forget.
Get in the car! Get in the car! Move, move, move!
You're gonna hang back.
I'm not hanging back.
One nation under God, indivisible,
This could be
with
the
liberty.
same shit. This could be the same shit. Like, again, would you have something stand in for Antifa in this? Of course not. They'll be the good guys.
Yeah.
The two-way guys will be the bad guys. And same old Hollywood fucking shit.
One positive, I was shout out to the stunt crew. Shout out to the stunt crew on that car, sequence.
Fuck them.
They deserve respect.
They're coming out this movie in election year. I mean, it's obvious, man. It's cringe.
Is that George Lopez?
This is George Lopez.
Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is that Kamala? It's Kamala.
Yep, that's
And
Kamala.
justice for all.
And AOC.
God bless America.
Civil War. It's gonna be an IMAX too.
Yay.
That's just
This
what I
looks-
want to see.
This looks awful.
It looks
It'd
boring.
be cool if it wasn't in current year. That's the thing. It's like it could be a cool premise. Like
Yes.
White House Down, that was kind of cool, and they were coming after the president. I like that kind of idea. But we live in current year, and you know what it's going to be about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hollywood.
Well, how entertaining would it be if it was actually like a Joe Biden? Like it's like, oh wait, they're coming after me.
That's too many words in the same.
If they took a
sentence that
balanced,
are together.
if Hollywood was even capable of taking a balanced approach to it, it could be really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like a what if?
Interesting premise.
Yep.
What
Well,
if?
I saw Leave the World Behind. I'll be honest with you. I thought it was a halfway decent movie. If anything, it is a great commercial for prepping.
Of course,
Leave the World Behind. Is that the new?
That's
Julia
the Obama
Roberts?
film.
Okay.
Yeah, Julia Roberts.
All I'll say is, I mean, I know that the whole Tesla thing and they're taking shots at. I don't fucking like I don't like self-driving cars, so I don't.
Yeah.
Fucking like I think I'm freaked out by self-driving cars, so I kind of relate to that.
I will
scene in
never
general. I
get
haven't
into
seen it.
one ever.
Yeah,
The very idea that a vehicle being hacked like that is very dangerous.
And very real.
Tesla.
Yeah.
Gary, are you sure about that?
I'm scared
Like,
to death
one day I'll
of
make
self-driving
you.
cars.
Yep.
No, I worked for fucking Tesla. I know like how far behind they were.
I know what they did
I
to
know
people.
the horror stories of the self-driving shit. No fucking way. Am I kidding it? No.
Was it explode?
Yeah.
What if
not letting AI drive
sorry,
me.
like
Yeah.
what if I thought you meant you never ever get into a Tesla? Like if it was an Uber pulled up, it was a Tesla, you'd say fuck you.
No,
and
I'll get
cancel
into a
it.
Tesla. I won't get
Okay.
into a car that's in self-drive mode. You know.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I've been
Okay.
inside a Tesla.
There
I've
are.
driven a
I
Tesla.
saw some self-driving Ubers in Austin this year.
Oh, good. I hope they fill Austin with them.
I mean, I would feel safer if a self-driving car pulled up than if it was a female driver.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say like I'm open to women having Teslas. I just am. I think there's a net positive to that. I think there's a net positive there.
So,
I hear the wife calling me now on
this
that
raises a very important question, Gary. If you were in Star Trek, would you use the transporter then?
No, I'd be very McCoy about it.
Me too. I would not use the transporter. They literally destroy you into atoms and reconstruct you.
What if
Don't
it's like
like
a prestige
It's like it
thing
kills
and
you,
you
essentially.
die? You die.
Exactly!
You literally
You come back,
die,
yeah.
and then another you shows up on the other end.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my point. I would never use it.
And we saw, was it Will Riker, where he got duplicated because
Yes.
he appeared at both
Well,
sides?
we saw the transporter accident in the motion picture by Odin. Yeah, no thanks.
He just used the transporter just now.
He did.
Transporters
He's
are
respawning.
horror devices.
He's the only one we can't make the Kirsten Dunst joke about. He's going to do research.
Only one.
For
Yeah,
research
Shad's like, hey,
purposes.
respect me.
Exactly. Why are you including me in this degeneracy?
Just to get a reaction. Keep that happy.
So Jeremy, you hadn't seen that trailer before?
I had not. No, I had not seen that trailer.
Wow. What do you
Very,
think?
very, very generic and on the nose, and yeah, I think that something like that is going to really turn most of people off because
I
the
thought you were going to say, I
propaganda
think
is-
something like that is going to happen. I thought that's what you were about to say.
No. No, I think
You mean my
that
beanie?
I think people are just so sick and tired of this stuff. Like, social media, like, again, if you're a mentally weak person, all right, because we spend all day on social media all fucking day long, but it's like, it's not good for your mental health. It's just not. I mean, social media, and all that is giving you more of what social media is giving you every day. So the normies that are out there that are trying to get escapism and just go to the movie, that's not going to that's not going to motivate them to go see the damn movie. It's literally just a reflection of what we see all day, every day on social media. And so it's just too on the nose. I don't see a lot of people being excited for that.
Yeah,
the title
not
might make them.
escapism.
Yeah, exactly.
It's clearly a movie made to comment on current events. And,
Yes.
From a very
certainly
or
imply
scare
one side.
people into not rising up and forming their low-key militias or prepping.
on one side.
Yeah,
It's
on one
perfectly
side.
okay on the other side.
Yeah, it's made as a
perfect.
warning
It
to
only
the
kinda
other
makes you wanna
side.
go,
Yeah.
Prepare.
If it did happen,
Well,
If
Yeah.
anything,
What would
I
I do?
think it would actually exasperate the situation and make people even more getting ready for.
it's not reality. That's the thing. It's,
disaster.
it's
Yeah.
not close to reality. We're not in a civil war state. We're not gonna go there. They want us to go there. But we're not there. Okay.
No,
We,
but, like,
most of the
they-
things in life are great. People are nice most of the time. There are sure there are some bad stuff, but these things like this, things like that, magical Negroes, just wants to create more division, more perception of the world being horrible and everything sucking. Life doesn't suck that bad.
Oh,
No,
no, but it's like
on
it's
general.
becoming it's
Doesn't
all
suck at
just
all.
becoming more and more obvious as you see things like Godzilla, which was phenomenal, movie of the year, and the only thing I think can surpass it might be the Iron Claw, which will be another relatively low budget film, and I don't know if it's going to be as low budget as something like Godzilla, but I mean Godzilla -1 is just phenomenal, and you see something like Five Nights at Freddy's. The Iron Claw. Then you still have your big budget stuff out there that like everybody here is looking forward to Doom Part 2.
Yep.
Oh, hell
all
yeah.
of these things are all showing you how hollow shit like that is the Civil War trailer that we just watched. It's just hollow, and it's made by people that fucking hate the audience and hate this country, and they're not there for entertainment. The magical Negroes movie, like that's made by people that hate white people. And you see these drastic differences in things. When you go to see Godzilla, you are seeing not only a Godzilla movie, you're seeing a human story that you can connect to. And it is fucking fantastic. It's one of the best movies I've seen in a long time. And all of this is exposing all of that. Go ahead, Gary.
No, you're absolutely right. What I'll speak for what all the general audience fucking hates across any political lines is ingratitude, right? You see, you see these millionaires telling you how bad this country is that gave them the opportunity to build millionaires. If you want to go international, I mentioned it. Russell T. Davies, this gay man, openly gay man's been gay, openly gay forever. No one ever had a problem with it. He brought back Doctor Who. He was universally loved. He wasn't just a gay icon. He was an icon. Yep. But now he just comes off as a bitter fuck. Like he just looks like an angry activist. Which,
my favorite quote
which
of
doesn't
him,
inspire anybody.
My favorite quote of him is like, well, when in 2005, I didn't think we should teach kids that they should be permanently panicking and scared to death all the time. But now the world's changed. Like he's literally going, I think children should be scared when they go to school and leave their house and the world's going to kill them. Like, why do you think that's a good thing to do, especially when you don't have any kids of your own? Like, maybe leave the kids out of it and you just focus on making Doctor Who rather than what you should teach somebody else.
Yeah. I don't know if he has kids or not. Probably.
Yeah, he probably doesn't.
Probably
the same rule has applies today as it applied 10 years ago and 15 years ago. It's like nobody gives a fuck what you do, what you look like, who you fuck, what color you are. They only care about what you bring to the table. Elton John has been a fucking rock star for as long as I've been alive. Nobody gives a fuck that he's gay. Nobody gives a shit. He's talented as hell. He's made legendary songs that'll last longer than all of us here, that people will remember the rest of time. Now, he's turned into a bitter old left-wing nut job in his later years, and he won't shut the fuck up. But that still doesn't change the fact that he's made things that will last eternity. And no one cares that he's gay. Nobody gives a shit. And that's until you start forcing people to have to decide on something based on someone's sexuality, no one cared about it. But right now, they're forcing you to make a decision on someone based on nothing more than their sexuality. That's what they're forcing people to do. And we're tired of it.
Rob Halford, pretty gay. Pretty gay dude. Great metal singer.
Oh, yeah.
Right. No one cares that Chris Evans is gay. He's a great Captain America.
Great Captain America.
Cares, and yet no one cares, okay? No one gives a damn.
No one cares that As likes trans people.
Take the words right out of their mouth.
And we still loved him.
We still miss him.
Yeah. Like, listen, we live in a world where, like, Dan Vask, a gay man, is competing with Gary for who's going to hit 1 million subs. Like, we support the gays, okay?
And I don't want to beat him because he's gay. I want to beat him just because I want to win. But I'm really proud of my gay friend for going out there and doing so well.
I didn't hit him because he was gay. In a way, it would have been homophobic not to hit him.
Yeah.
To Disparu's point, it's one thing, like, if you do have a good story like Godzilla, like, there's fear in that story. It's part of the journey. But with the Civil War trailer, it's like, this just looks like fear porn. This just looks like, well, I better obey
exactly
because
what
this is what's coming.
I don't care that it exists. Like it's probably just going to be coming from like one specific perspective. It's funny to me to see people that have been screaming about Civil War for years and literally selling dry food, like based on the idea of a Civil War. Like they're like, wow, this is predictive programming. Well, so I was screaming about a Civil War for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's strange to me though. It's a very American thing that if a state leaves, there's immediately going to be a war. Like, we don't have that. If Scotland goes independent, we're not going to invade them. We'll just be like, no, okay, you're in your own country now. It's,
I know the Irish had never pushed back against anything before.
Never.
They're not independent. They just didn't want to be part of us.
Exactly.
No, but that was a small group of that. If Ireland held a vote tomorrow, Northern Ireland held a vote to actually leave, they would get independence. If Scotland did, they've had a vote, it would have been the same.
It would probably be the same for some places. It'd be difficult, but I don't know if we'd go straight to a war.
It's also, America is different. We have different, I mean, you guys are getting there demographic wise, but we have different demographics, such a wide variety of different people living in different areas that have completely and totally different values that are sometimes aligned in specific states. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It is just really a strange country. When you look at Europe, it's tough to compare those things. Because obviously you guys have differences.
We have Utah. right? We have Utah. Shad could talk about
What's
Utah.
wrong with Utah?
Nothing's
there,
wrong with Utah.
It's
I
a
like
weird
Utah.
place, Chad.
Me too. I like Utah a lot. I don't know why, but there's just something about it.
Yeah, but that's
It's
America.
very beautiful country.
You can have that. You can have that here. You can Utah can be run by the Mormons, and it's fine. It's
It's
Utah.
a land built on ideas, not people.
Yep.
So that's why it's such an interesting, because when you have a state that is connected to us and they want to leave, you go, okay, well, I guess you're completely diametrically opposed to our beliefs, and I guess we have to kill you now. Like,
well, oddly enough, they tried that with the
deal,
Mormons.
I guess.
That's turning into every American city, but
Yeah.
places outside them are pretty nice. Not so bad.
Mm.
Not so bad. Like Garrett said,
weirdly enough, the reddy area, they got kind of the reddish here and
Mhm.
around those cities. Those are the nice areas with the good people.
I went Christmas shopping yesterday, just ran into a bunch of nice people. I had no problem. Nobody called me, yelled bigot or anything like that. It was weird. It's not like it's the internet at all.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Ryan.
Yes, I gotta get going. I gotta bounce. I got a big weekend ahead. I'll see Chrissy in Phoenix. But this has been a great freaking show. Thank you guys so much. I'll be back next week. Jeremy, he'll have to fucking come back from parts unknown, wherever the fuck he is right now, because I'm not gonna be there for daily on Monday and Tuesday.
I'll be back. I'll be back Sunday, so I'll be ready to rock and roll. And everybody's like, did you like get in a fire, burn yourself, or you disfigured? Why are you on camera?
Nope, just ugly.
Just like jerking off during live streams. What's a big deal?
Yeah. Why are you judging?
There you go.
3 hours of it.
Gotta drop off.
But,
lot of
yeah,
lotion.
but Ryan's been awesome this week holding it down on GG. So for once, I appreciate him. Fuck you.
For once. All right, guys. I'm gonna bounce. Have a good one. Talk to you later.
Later.
Have a good weekend.
Later.
Do you want to watch this Ruin Johnson video?
Oh, sure, yeah. Let's
Hope
do
he
it.
doesn't mind. I haven't asked permission. Go subscribe to Ruin Johnson. Ruin Johnson.
Ruin's
on,
great.
follow him on Twitter. Subscribe to his channel. We can link it in the description too. Subscribe to his channel. He's got a little Christmas song. It's long. I don't know if we're gonna make it to
Mom, babe.
Folks, by the way.
Dude,
Hail Ruin.
Every
He
time
needs to be a
I
lot more drunk to sing that one. A lot less slurring in that version.
it just gets more and more depressing to see where Star Wars was versus where it is now, man. It's just fucking sucks, dude. It really sucks. It really sucks how far it's fallen and how irrelevant it is now. And there's really no excuse for it. There's really none. But here we are, and it's never coming back. It's never getting saved. It's done. It's over. Never coming back.
Great job, Disney. You killed the golden goose.
Killed it. It's done. There's just no
You know,
scenario.
they didn't kill it because
It's what it
still there.
deserves.
We still have the past. We still
got
have
the
the
classics.
the 6 movies. That's it. That's all it is. You can read the books. I really love the books. I love the expanded universe. You can go in there. You can. There's a ton of books you haven't read. A
lot of great
guarantee you.
games. A lot of great games.
You can. So many great games. Go play that stuff.
But
Go read those books. Go watch those movies.
But Star
this
Wars
stuff is dead.
I mean, everything's an entropy, but it's like really an entropy now, and it will affect the past in the way that it will be forgotten because now there's a generation that just doesn't give a fuck about it. And then the next generation's not going to give a fuck about it. And one thing about nerddom
goes away quickly.
is it's generational. That's how Star Trek and Doctor Who and Star Wars lasted so long. And now all 3 of them were killed in the same period of time. And that's just the big 3. Marvel was also killed.
for the same reasons. For the same
I mean, we don't talk about, like, Indiana Jones was one of the biggest flops of the year. If it wasn't for fucking the Marvels, Indiana Jones was one of the biggest flops of the year, which honestly, I'm a little surprised about. I thought it would, I didn't think it'd be good, but I didn't think it would flop this hard. And
it was so bad. No, I knew it was gonna fucking flop hard, especially with what's her name.
I didn't know it was gonna flop that hard.
I didn't think it was gonna flop. It's Indiana Jones. I felt like people would still go see it. I didn't think it was gonna make $1 billion.
I thought it would have a better opening weekend. That opening weekend was so abysmal. Yeah, it's been.
It's just the general audiences don't want to buy Disney shit anymore.
overall
don't.
tainted brand.
Yeah, but before, if the as different trilogies, so like some people left Star Wars, the original trilogy, and then other generations would have other kind of movies. So you got like the Harry Potter generation. Is there anything for this current generation, or have they just moved on to other things and they just no longer care about movies at all? So as they grow up, you could actually just age out of cinema altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah, video games, and YouTube.
Yeah.
Video games and YouTube.
Video games and YouTube.
I just watch Mr. Beast now.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's like
these studios took that for granted. They thought that the audience was always going to be there, just like the radio audience, just like the serials audience, all of it, just like the bowling audience. All right, people still like bowling. People still like to do that, but way less.
But
it's not the 1950s anymore.
Exactly. It's funny you bring that up, though. I mean, it's anecdotal because it's just my kid, and quite frankly, he's my kid, and he's weird because his dad's weird. But my kid is listening to shadow radio shows now on YouTube. On YouTube.
On YouTube.
Nice. So that's where the YouTube comes in, because Hollywood is now competing against us itself with backlogs on streaming services, and YouTube, which has all this free domain shit that you can just listen to all day long. And it's fucking brilliant. And I love that he's listening to that stuff. He's getting into pulp. I wish more kids would, but and he's weird, but like that's your problem, is you lost a generation. I saw the Star Trek's been aging out for a long time. They lost a couple of generations. Doctor Who did the impossible. It gained one and then lost it. And Star Wars was doing great. You had to try really hard to fuck up Star Wars. It was
clearly they did.
Well, to your point about gaining, like they were gaining a generation with Force Awakens.
Yep.
They had already had two massive generations of different fans with the prequels and then the OT fans.
Yep.
And then to a lesser extent, you had the EU. So you had you had everything going for you after TFA. You had everything, and they just fucked it so bad.
They did.
Impressively so.
Yeah.
It is an impressive achievement.
Yeah.
It really is.
I don't think I could have done a better job if I went in there intentionally to try and ruin the franchise and make it look like I was, not ruining it, right? I could not have done a better job than them. It's a masterclass in what they've achieved.
I think they're going to have difficulty getting back as well, because people are changing how they find stuff. So YouTube is very good at, if you watch something, it'll just keep sending you more stuff. It's always trying to give you the next thing that you want or don't even know that you want. And so if you've always got a new sort of thing just waiting for you all the time, you're less likely to go and find out what the next movies are, because it requires effort on your part rather than just being fed stuff.
Well, it's just like for instance, like wrestling, like something that I've completely been checked out of wrestling for probably the last 10 years. I'm starting to kind of get back into it now, but regardless of my personal interest, wrestling has remained relevant. WWE has remained relevant and successful. Even though I don't think it's been great, it still remained relevant. Star Wars is dead. Like, it's not even relevant. You have to fuck up so bad. Wrestling, I think, fucked up pretty bad in the past 10 years, but it still kept a relatively large audience and continue to be very successful from a business standpoint. Star Wars is losing millions and millions and millions of dollars right now. There's no excuse for this. It truly is amazing that they've made it this irrelevant.
And it was the easiest of layups, just you had Han, Luke, and Leia back for 3 movies. You just centered the movie around them, and then you honestly, you didn't need to introduce new characters. You could have had them for 3 movies, then do your new characters, or just have them be minor characters. That's what I would have done if I wanted to just make the most money. That would have been the smartest move to make the most money. But they're like, no, we got this. We know better.
And if they really wanted to, if they wanted to make money, but they won't do this because they have built up these new characters and they're so desperate to keep them going. Like this new Rey movie, it just shows how attached they are, and it's going to fail completely. But if they wanted to make money, right, they would retcon, destroy all the Disney trilogy, get rid of it, make a new movie with Luke in his prime, right after the Last Jedi. Sorry, not Last Jedi. Return
of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi, and have Luke kicking ass.
Mhm.
They could actually course correct and get
when the
things back
movie
on track.
starts, it says everything that's happened before this.
Yes.
was a dream.
No. They should start.
It's a nightmare.
They should
The
start it out
audience.
by saying, "This will begin to make things right."
They-
That's
Yeah.
But seriously, they could adapt the expanded universe novels and everything, the stuff that's actually already is proven to have good stories, latch onto the good ones, and they could actually course correct, but they won't. You know they won't, because they cannot admit that they've failed and that they made absolute dog crap. And so,
yeah. Again, man, it's just you really like when you have these generational brands and characters and things that people care about. You really have to screw up really badly to get in the place that they are, and it's a testament to how bad of a job they've done. Because, like I said, the reason I brought the wrestling deal up is because as much as like wrestling's been around for my whole life and beyond that, but I and a lot of people I know have completely just checked out. But they remained to keep their new generation of fans interested because those fans were interested for the right reasons. The John Cena fan base, which I fucking hate John Cena, but they kept those types of fans interested by whatever storytelling that those fans were interested in. Star Wars has done nothing but attract people that don't give a fuck about anything that they've done. And they only wanted it for the social clout that it brought when it was popular. And as soon as Star Wars wasn't popular, all the people that they pandered to have completely abandoned it. And then they ran off the people that actually cared about the franchise. So they have nothing left now.
And the only way you're
Yeah,
going to
the
get
people
new
they
people,
pandered to are not going to go back and watch the old movies.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
That's the thing. The only
'Cause
people
it's
who are going to watch
racist.
the old
movies
movies
are racist or sexist.
to see the quality ones is if they're introduced to it by their parents, essentially. It's like, I like this, you should watch this. But now you've got an entire generation who've just seen the sequel trilogy. They're not going to introduce the kids to that. And so those kids will never even hear about Star Wars. And so if Star Wars tries to come back, it'll be as a new franchise and have to start from scratch rather than from the benefit of having an entire audience behind it. So rebooting it's going to be really difficult to get people back.
well, I think it's dead. I don't think they can come back from where they've taken it. And but I still like classic Star Wars. So if there's not going to be good new Star Wars kind of styled content, Rebel Moon seems to be an attempt, but that doesn't really look to be too promising as a replacement.
I would love nothing more than have like Rebel Moon be good. Something original. I'll put that in air quotes. But some sci-fi that's a little more sophisticated, R-rated, but not like post-apocalyptic, grim, boring. Something fun. I would fucking love that. Something like Heavy Metal Magazine. You know, like that would be fun, Shad. But we, you know, we'll see.
Well, like for me, like
Gary, Gary. Sorry, I just
go ahead,
I might be working on something for you.
Yeah,
something,
good.
Take a look at this. This is a part of a project that I've been working on in the background.
Oh my God, that's AI art.
But it's a character concept that I'll be getting real artists to build off of, right? And
are you making the sword so that you can test the theory of could a man hold a sword this big? You're making your own video ideas.
That sword is actually really cool. It even actually folds out to be twice as big as that.
That's
wow.
But no, like literally, because I'm going all in, and so this is the space opera sci-fi, and this is the concept for the main character right here. And so if we can't get good stuff, we can make our own. And I'm like,
well,
this
the door's
is gonna
open.
be going ahead.
Yeah, the door's wide open. So speaking of Rebel Moon, let's get to the soups.
Okay.
Because we start out with good old Mikey Gusler. By the way, I love Mikey Gusler.
Mikey,
is my internet cutting out?
It's fine.
No, not right now.
Not right now.
Sorry, you guys lagged up on me. I was just gonna say with Rebel Moon, as much as we've had fun talking about it, as far as going into it, I am far more interested to see Rebel Moon than anything from Marvel this entire year outside of Guardians. I actually want to watch Rebel Moon because I'm going into it with the opportunity of there's going to be something interesting to discuss with it, because as much as like I don't think Zack Snyder is like
ruined anything by identity politics. You know what I mean? There might be some elements in there.
Just bad writing.
Exactly. But like, again, as I've said 1,000 times when The Last Jedi, I can always I can accept a bad movie. What I can't accept is when you blame the fans for your bad movie, which is what they started out with Last Jedi. So
exactly. Critic. Okay, none of us here give a fuck what corporate critics say. Like, this does not affect my opinion on absolutely anything, one way or another. I'm at a point where I could probably apply to get stuff early. I'm not going to do it. I don't care. I'd rather watch stuff when it comes out in the theater. I'd rather watch it with real people, and I'm fine with that. But when the consensus comes down, most of the time, it's grim. Remember when the consensus came down after Cannes with Indiana Jones, and it was right. It was right. But I'll go back to Bright, a movie I love that they fucking murdered. It was because of Max Landis. It's because Max Landis was getting falsely Me Too'd. And they murdered it because, and not because of the quality of the movie. Maybe some liked it, but you can tell. You could just tell that they were against Max Landis. So I think there's a little bit of both. With the critics don't love Snyder, obviously, but our good friend Mikey Gussler, who's been here a long time, we love him, has given us $50. Call us out.
Mikey.
Call us out.
Of course.
Saw the hypocrites, including some on this panel. Which one of you is a hypocrite, by the way? Which one? Put your hands up.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know where the angle's
praising the
coming from.
critics on Twitter for giving Rebel Moon low scores, even though they've said their opinion doesn't matter. It doesn't. But we share news.
But I also don't think
where
anyone praised the critics.
No,
Mikey, you share something with your boy Snyder with some bad storytelling elements there. Because there was nobody praising the critics. We were just posting the score and laughing.
Yes.
The reason why I think the critics were valuable, just from what I read tonight, because I'd not looked on them before, is that they're pointing out that the movie doesn't make any emotion. It doesn't have any soul to it. It's just a load of action scenes. And this is something that Hollywood's been doing for years by this point. So they're commenting on a well-established trend that Hollywood has, and that's simply relating to human beings. They're in their own little world, and they don't relate to the audience at all. So while, yes, it could be good, could be not, I don't really care either way, I think it's very believable, simply because so many movies have been like that recently.
He follows up.
Go ahead.
He follows up by saying, I wonder if they'll believe the audience scores are genuine if they are high. I would. I think there's enough Snyder fans out there to make the audience scores high, but and it's different. It's not like a movie that's released in theaters. You're not going to be able to check your ticket, so that anybody can.
Yep, Mikey, I'll make a deal with you. Okay, if we're just going to trust the audience scores, then let's see what has a higher audience score: Rebel Moon or Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and then you're just gonna have to admit that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is better thanRebel Moon, correct?
And this is what
because
nerds should be arguing over a movie they like. That's fine.
At the end of the day, I would say that I think Rebel Moon is probably, because Snyder fans and Nolan fans are very similar in the respect that they are passionate as hell about their director, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I want a cage match. I want a cage match between Nolan fans and Snyder fans. Who wins?
Oh, well, Nolan fans will beat their ass. But anyway, ultimately, I think that Rebel Moon's probably going to have, if I'm just and I haven't looked at Snyder's movies in a while. So what does Army of the Dead have? I would say between 70 and 80 is probably a pretty safe bet for Rebel Moon, because Snyder fans are so passionate. If it's a relatively decent movie by general audience standards, but like, what is Army of the Darkness? Okay, there you go then. Audience. So yeah,
what was it again?
Army of the Dead, 75.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would say between 70 and 80% is something we should expect.
All audience is 52.
Oof. Oof.
Yep.
That seems a little bit more realistic.
Oof.
Yeah, it does.
I always forget to
and
look
the difference
at that.
there's 250 plus verified, and there's 5,000 all.
Yeah. I actually forget to look at that. What is Guardians all audience? Because I was looking at earlier, it was 94 regular. So what is all audience? That's probably down to like 80 something on all audience for Guardians 3.
Guardians 3. All audience. So audience 94. All audience is 92.
Holy shit! All right, never mind. That's high.
Pretty close.
So,
That's really close.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So we'll see what happens. But ultimately, what we've done here on Friday Night Tights, is good storytelling, because now everybody's going to tune in next week to hear what we think to say about Rebel Moon. There you go.
Yeah, and we'll let you know. Honestly,
and we didn't have to name it Part 1 and Part 2.
Friday Night Tights, Part 1.
God, I
Zack
hate
Snyder.
That's right.
I hate Part 1 bullshit. I really do.
Me too. I'm so freaking sick of it.
Yeah.
Fine. Part 1, Part 2. It's part of story.
No, but
Look, if they they execute it all right, I can tolerate it. It's just recently.
Yeah,
Mikey.
Mikey, you are Mikey. You are what fandom should always be about.
Yes.
You are passionate as fuck about what you love, and I appreciate
Unapologetically.
that unapologetically. I'm saying that, and I know you did disrespect Christopher Reeve Superman, which is always hard for me to accept. But you are a passionate fan, and that's all that matters.
Yeah,
okay,
Mikey,
that's all that matters.
we
love
appreciate you
bro.
as a passionate fan. Your Donner Superman take is garbage.
It's wrong.
Terrible. Wow. It's just
It is wrong.
But you're free to be wrong. You're free to be wrong. By the way, 45 years ago today, it premiered. 45 years ago today, the greatest superhero movie ever made premiered, Superman the movie. Also, 10 years ago today, I sold my shop.
Man,
last
it
day.
is. We will never there's been some amazing casting superheroes, but what kind of shop did you have there?
It was a
Garrett?
comic shop.
Aquarium shop.
It was a comic shop. I had a massive relapse, and I had to sell it because I was dying. So,
we will never get another casting that matches Christopher Reeve as Superman.
No,
it will just never happen.
No.
Perfection.
Never happen.
Nope.
So it's just perfect. It's perfect.
Alex,
Which is why more horses and more actors need to ride horses.
Oh no! Get a baby bop and Christopher Reeve. How many retards are listening to me? Little Eminem, back when he had balls.
when he was high as fuck on drugs.
No, he appears in Fortnite.
Alec Baldwin's finger never misses. Have gifted 50 Nerdrotic memberships for $250. Woo! Stay on target. Stay on target. God, I can't believe they're finishing that movie. That is fucking. It's one thing to finish The Crow, where people like took culpability and felt bad, and then it's another thing to finish Rust, where you have some fucking asshole out there. God dang. Leader of the Film Actors Guild, Alec Baldwin. Mikey is donating.
Bro, I saw a clip the other day. I got to play this probably on Cobra Cast. I got to find it, but NBC Universal always hits you for stuff, so I probably can't. But there's a clip. What's the other Baldwin brother? Is it Billy? The one that's not a crazy idiot. What's his name?
Billy Baldwin. Alec
I think
Baldwin.
It's Billy. So there's Billy. I think it was Billy was on The Celebrity Apprentice, and his mom made an appearance.
The Christian, yeah.
And his mom was on there. His mom, this is Alec Baldwin's mom. His mom was talking about how in love with Donald Trump she is, and how handsome he is, and how she's gonna get in better shape and take him from his wife. This is why Alec Baldwin hates him. Yes, it's so beautiful. Fuck you, Alec Baldwin.
Like, I will be your dad. I will be your best dad.
Alec Baldwin.
That's what she said. That's what she said. Me and
Father of the Year, Alec Baldwin. Father of the Year.
Oh no.
Mikey Gussler.
Do you think? I don't want to go there, but do you think Trump and her hooked up? And that's why.
That would explain a lot. That would explain an awful lot.
Bro, this clip, I'll try to find it and play it on Cobra
Alec,
Cast.
you can call me Daddy Alec. That's right. I am the best daddy.
Remember the gaming clip? I'm going to shag you woman, give you a son she actually loves. That
Oh,
that's
shit.
funny.
Well, it just makes you think like how much Hollywood actually used to love Donald Trump. They loved the guy.
Yes, absolutely.
It's weird. Mikey Gussler, $50, Mikey. Bless you. Hey, the actress, the girl boss in Rebel Moon, before I read your super chat, I like her. I think she's a good actress. She's kind of weird hot.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
Last movie.
She was in Star Trek. She was in The Mummy, too, though.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I know. The Mummy hit Netflix, and some people I like were like, it wasn't that bad. Yeah, it was.
Bro, that movie is ass.
Just because things get worse doesn't make a movie necessarily get good. Okay.
Which movie are we talking about? The one with Tom Cruise?
Yes, the Alex Kurtzman.
Okay.
one.
Yeah. Right.
Was that Goldsman or was that?
No, directed by Alex Kurtzman.
Alex Kurtzman.
Yeah.
That was a different Star Trek.
It
Destroyer.
ruined his rise to. It led to Star Trek. So I hate everything about that movie. Hate it. Go watch the 1999 Mummy. It's a fucking classic. It's brilliant. Go watch that one.
Sounds so good.
If any of you would read the critics' reviews for Rebel Moon, you'd see they barely discuss the movie and just slam Snyder as a person and his fans. They do slam the fans a lot. They do, and that's fucked
And
up.
they do take shots at Snyder a lot too. Actually, with
They do.
his style, they do 100%.
You're-
Again, nobody's saying
preemptive
fuck
because
these
we did
critics.
talk about
Fuck the critics. Yeah. Yeah. Mikey, I like the Snyder cut. And I've spent my entire career on YouTube roasting fucking critics. That's not going to change. It's never going to change. When they do discuss the movie, they don't like the fact that there's exposition being delivered. And we'll see about that. We'll see that this is a 2-part movie. Will it keep us engaged? Listen, when we watched the trailer on Real BBC with Mahler, even like we were like, visually, it looks pretty good. No problem with it, you know.
Well, I mean, we know Mahler loves him some Zack Snyder, so
he does. Huge fan. Huge fan.
Is he going to be here next week for Rebel Moon discussion?
Yes. No, he said he wouldn't miss it for the world. He will be here. He will be here.
When is it actually coming out? What's the day Rebel Moon is?
22nd?
21st.
Right.
21st here in the States at 7. So I'm gonna have to see Aquaman early, but we'll
because Aquaman. Sorry,
No.
doesn't release until Boxing Day for me, but Rebel Moon might. If it's a Netflix thing, it might.
We'll be in. Like I said, we'll be in touch. Don't worry, we got you covered. We got you covered.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Of course, no problem. I mean, we wouldn't do anything like illegal.
No, of course not. Of course.
Not in the slightest.
Wrong. Brock has gifted 50 Nerdrotic memberships for $250. Brock.
Damn.
F5 in the chat for Brock.
Hell yeah! Anybody named after my favorite character in Venture Brothers? That's right, Brock Sampson. John McKinley, and thank you again. The members you'll be able to see. I'll probably do a viewing of Rebel Moon for the members. That's what I'll probably do. So you'll get to see that. John McKinley for $49.99. Hail Gary in chat. Hail. Merry Christmas to you all, you wonderful people. Before I finish the super chat, I just want to point out I was Christmas shopping here in Texas, and every shop said Merry Christmas to me.
That's fantastic.
Every single fucking shop. They didn't say Happy Holidays. They said Merry fucking Christmas. Right.
Tend to get that around here.
Question for all.
They add the fucking in there? That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yes.
a couple of them. Yeah, they did.
Depends on where you go.
Well, that's the most merry kind of Christmas, really. Question for all: which is the best fantasy soundtrack, Conan the Barbarian or Lord of the Rings? Ooh,
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
It's not even a question.
It's not even a question.
Lord of the Rings is great, but I think an unsung
do not
hero
sell
for like.
Conan short.
I'm not selling Conan short. I'm just saying one that doesn't get enough credit is Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. It's one of the best freaking movie soundtracks ever.
Excellent soundtrack. Absolutely excellent soundtrack.
Thank you.
I own it, man. Okay. I own I didn't know there was an action figure line. Now, granted, this movie came out like right before I went on my vacation for a little while, but there's a whole action figure line that I found at that shop in Sheboygan. So I got a bunch of
at my
that's right. There
too.
was. Yeah.
They have the whole
hell
collection,
yes.
like all of them.
Okay, I'm going to be the contrarian. I'm going to say I really like the Conan soundtrack.
You're drunk.
I mean, liking is fine, but it's better than Lord of the Rings.
I like it. I like it more than
No,
Lord
it's
of the
not better
Rings.
than Lord of the Rings, but Basil Polydorus is fucking. It's
It's good. It's really good. It's great.
It's great. But Lord of the Rings is next
Lord of the
level
Rings.
godlike soundtrack.
It
Up
really
there
is.
with John Williams' Star Wars and Superman.
Come on.
So no, better question is what's a better soundtrack by John Williams? Star Wars or Superman the movie?
Indiana Jones.
Superman the movie.
Superman the movie. Superman the movie. Star Wars is
Indiana Jones.
great. Indiana Jones is pretty damn good too. But I gave you. I didn't put that in there on purpose.
Superman, but like when you start getting into the great, when you start getting into great John Williams, man.
Yeah, like the core Superman theme is one of the best. One of the best. But the thing is, Lord of the Rings has multiple killer kind of.
Hold on. We didn't say Lord of the Rings versus Superman. We said Superman versus Star Wars.
Yeah. So Lord of the Rings, the sound. You need to get the complete. Shad, do you have the complete works? The box sets, the expanded soundtrack from Howard Shore. It's.
I mean, I have the extended editions, of course. What do you think I am? Some savage?
Okay, of course. Well, I have them. I have them in vinyl and in CD, and they are glorious. They're I listen to them, and I want to go into battle, or hang out in the Shire and eat cheese. But Ministry of Wrong Thing for $49.99. And yes, Lord of the Rings has the only fantasy world I would live in. I would live in the Shire. I would live in the Shire. I wouldn't live anywhere in A Song of Ice and Fire. Fucking anywhere. It's a terrible place. Awful place. Being a female Twitch streamer is like dating Andrew Tate. You can play games for a while, but sooner or later they'll have you working for a cam site just trying to survive.
That's where Twitch is going.
Well, they rolled back their nudity policy.
They did. They rolled it back.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay. The only thing I noticed is it makes the tits look really saggy. I'm like, that looks super saggy. I don't know if that's good or not. I don't know. It's fucking Twitch. I don't go on Twitch. My kids don't go on Twitch.
Just OnlyFans.
Yeah.
My argument was a lot of people on Twitter were complaining about Twitch having nudity when Twitter has full hardcore.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's a.
My stance.
And I agree.
My stance is no public social media platform should have any nudity.
Yeah.
It just shouldn't. It should just be a universal rule that, like, if you don't like, I don't want to see nudity on Facebook. I don't want to see it on Twitter. I don't want to see it. Like, I know where to go if I want to see it. Okay, I don't want to see it.
I will take the I'm going to take the European approach. Some boobs are fine. Boobs are fine.
I agree.
Like
I like
open vag, or big dong.
Yeah.
No,
or dong
but
and vag.
But here's the thing: it's almost like the gun rule. Once you start opening that door, you're just a few decisions away from a big black cock.
So-
all right.
Well, I mean, like occasionally,
Aren't we all?
I'll be sitting down.
That's
watching-
true. With the guns, but okay.
I'll be sitting down watching
25,
TV.
right?
or
Your
I'll-
face.
Jeremy is clearly speaking from experience here. I think.
Well,
Clearly.
I'm speaking to experience because Cecil bitch ass
Cecil,
tweeted.
I know, I was
tweet
gonna
out
say
yesterday,
Cecil.
and it
Cecil.
scarred me.
It's like,
All right, so
motherfucker.
Anna, that Star Wars girl, tweets this thing out about somebody trying to bribe her with these fake AI images, probably Shad. Anyway,
you're on my side. What is this, Jeremy?
It's not even much to my talents.
I didn't.
and then Cecil
It's odd.
the worst picture I've ever
know,
seen,
dude.
and I hate him forever. I almost blocked him. I was like, damn.
No, dude, I'm sitting down like at in the kitchen, fucking scrolling past Twitter and giant
Man, I'm
fucking
glad
dick
I'm on
on my
hiatus.
Twitter timeline. I'm like, I'm glad my wife wasn't looking over my shoulder at the time, man. It's like, what the fuck? And that's not even to mention, like, Kenzie Taylor follows me because, she's a Captain Marvel I can get behind. And you occasionally run by her and say, like, oh, my God.
Yeah, but I was not expecting that one, man. I was like, damn it, Cecil.
I know, dude. And then people are like, he gets banned and people, free Cecil. It's like, bro.
Love you, Cecil. But
Listen, man, I'm just like any other dude with a penis. I look at some fucked up shit on the internet occasionally, okay? But I'm gotta be prepared. I was not prepared. Like, I'm looking at
That's
like,
a poor choice of words.
You gotta be in the right
I need
mindset.
tissues. I
You
need
can't
to
just be
move.
sprung upon like that.
Well, like I said, that's the thing
Right.
I like about how Minds handles it. If it's like 18 plus content, they basically censor it, and you have to actively click on it to see it.
Yeah, dude. If I post something that tells somebody to fuck off, it censors it. Cecil posts the biggest black penis I've ever seen, and it's just there. Thanks, Elon.
Yeah,
yeah, that was pretty big.
I'd rather go across a nice pair of tits than some guy getting his fucking head blown off.
Yeah. I just started blocking those accounts. Like,
Yeah.
Getting
blown.
What's the matter, you? What was that, Chrissy?
I said we're getting blown. That's all.
So I was talking.
I also like how Jeremy was like, "I've seen the biggest black dick I've ever seen in my life," and Chrissy's like, "Yeah, that's kind of big."
Yeah. By the way, Jeremy, that's getting clipped. So you're screwed.
Hey, welcome to the club, man. Everything dude, Friday Night Tights is falling apart from like a month ago when me and you argued for like 5 seconds over like something, and yet Friday Night Tights has had record viewership since that moment.
fired
But everybody's claiming the world. Yeah, it's all falling apart. Like, welcome to the.
I gotta tell you what, X-Ray Girl, who's totally not here, by the way. Right before we hung up on the phone, she's all, "Yeah, you can find me in the back end." It's all gone to hell. It's all gone to hell.
Right.
Yeah, cover your face in shame. I can see it. She's laughing. What's the matter, you? For $50. Hail! I'm the 9.9%. Hail women, by the way, and also a proud mom. Just received ISOM and Alpha Core this week for my older sons. What a good mom. Mom of the year right there.
Hail.
Alpha Cores getting out to the people. I've got like a big old stack of them, because I'm going to pass them out. Can't wait to read it when I have time. I am impressed by the artwork quality. Keep holding it down. Odin, someone's got to care for these heathens. I'm Team Gary. Man buns are gay. They're gay. They are gay. It's gonna be. It might be down to the wire, or I might get my ass kicked. I'm not sure. We'll find out.
Really interesting.
Honestly, I think you both have made it interesting at this point. The fact that you both hit like 900K, that's pretty crazy, So it's already close.
It's very close. And I'm not putting it out of the realm of possibility that I would sing the song even if I won. So I might.
I just shared a tweet that I think is very pertinent on.
You want to throw that up?
Subject. Oh, throw this one is.
You can share your screen. That's just the thing we could do here.
Yeah, you're able to share your own screen there. It's a possibility. Shad,
I could do that.
Are the emus preventing you?
Look at this. What's this?
Whoa! No way. I mean, it's sideways, so we got to look at it this way.
Yeah,
nice.
Hell yeah! Wookie be bad. Hail Wookie be bad. By the way,
yeah,
always supporting us and retweeting and stuff. Very nice. We love Wookie be bad.
Hell yeah!
Hail, brother.
Shout out to the Rippaverse. I know Rippa's doing the Tim Pool thing right now, so shout out to Rippa. So he was on with Pool yesterday, and then he was on
with Ian. Today on the Culture War. It's called Tenet.
No, Tenet Media. It's like something with Tim and some other people. But
he's on the Pop Culture War.
Pop Culture Crisis.
Crisis.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming he'll be on with Tim Cass tonight. I haven't talked to Rip in a couple days, but I'm assuming he'll be on. Maybe he won't. I don't know, but I would assume so. So shout out to Rippa and the Rippaverse.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'll watch it right after the show. So should
I'm confused. Someone in chat is asking me when the books are going to ship out. I thought that last tweet kind of answered that. They're currently shipping out.
They are currently shipping out.
People are receiving the books.
They are currently shipping out. And my book is in the works. What type of American are you? A good Trump supporter, meat eating, red state loving American, or you're not? It did give birth to a pretty good meme. I'm going to say that.
Apparently, they removed the red see-through glasses on Amazon. So they have those Amazon glasses. You can get them in a bunch of different colors except for the red ones.
Why?
I guess they've sold out.
Oh.
Wow.
Those glasses look fucking lame. So whatever.
All right. I'll take this.
American Society. Yeah, I can't. You can say that. I won't.
American Society of Magical Quarter Negroes.
There you go. Quarter black magic. You're my quarter black magic.
Quarter black magic.
Zach Hammond for $49.99. So Shad. Just got my Shadow of the Conqueror order signed leather-bound copy number 123, which looks great with the gold pages. Looking forward to reading the book and graphic novel. Hell yeah. Oh, I can't wait to get mine.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Can't wait to get mine.
Yeah. Dude, they're on their way. They're on their way. And leatherbound, the leatherbound, from what I'm hearing, has turned out so nice.
Excellent.
Excellent, man.
Quelndar on the Streamlabs side for $250.
Damn.
Having trouble sending on Streamlabs lately. Hopefully this works. I wonder why. Why is that? Yeah, let me know if anybody else has trouble. I'll look into it. Saw Thanksgiving this week. It was a good time. Not the scariest, but immensely entertaining. Well, that's good.
Totally agree. I watched that movie. It's really entertaining.
Surprised by and enjoyed the Misfits end credit song, R.I.P. as Hail the Fellowship. Love the Misfits.
Great.
Big fan of the Danzig. Matthew Hammond for $45. Can Ryan review the trailer for one of the most amazing movies to come out next year that could finally bring the magic of Hogwarts to the BIPOC community?
My God.
The comments below the trailer for the American Society of Magical
Negroes
were epic. So
apparently he's already done a reaction to it.
Yes,
so,
it's already been done.
Yeah.
You ask and you shall receive, because we listen to the audience. Even Mikey Gussler.
I saw this.
I'm just kidding, Mikey. I love you.
For modern audiences.
Mikey. Oh, hey. Ghost Rider. Oh, they'll probably do it.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, look at Moon Knight. We're no word yet on whether she's gay, but they put a chick in it and made her lame. So, my fantasy novel.
I hope it's Russell T Davis.
Yep.
He specializes in that now.
Yes, he does. He is the master of the gay. My fantasy novel Slayer is now available for pre-order. If you like a good story, colorful characters, not colored characters, colorful characters, and lots of male energy, please check it out. Go to jumpmasterpress.com and search Slayer like the band. And that's jumpmasterpress.com. Slayer. Thank you. Okay, well, good luck with the book.
I think
Bowman.
this one's for Jeremy.
Horny Al.
Yeah.
Dude,
I
horrible
called
takes this week,
him.
man.
I called him Frost Pool yesterday for his take on GTA.
Oh
yes,
yes,
love
that has
like
been
playing female characters.
That was a funny take.
So actually, Tim Pool convinced me, guys. I can't play Mario Kart anymore. I mean, it's not like I can throw turtle shells at cars in real life. So why would I play a video game where you can do it?
There is a video of a guy doing that, actually.
Yeah, I know there is. I know there is. Remy, I think is his name. It starts Remy Gallard or something like that.
Yeah, it starts throwing at like police cars.
Yeah. So
yeah.
But yeah. So
the right does this, and they just, I mean, do what you like. You have free speech, but tell you what. Jeremy and I are going to do a really long stream breaking down the Israeli-Palestine conflict. 4-hour live stream. As soon as they figure out pop culture and like what it means, and some of their takes have been so fucking shitty. It's and that's part of it, and you just roll your eyes at it. But stick to what you know. That's
my whole thing is like Libs of TikTok tried to get this game taken down off Steam earlier this week, and it's just like, oh my god, because it had something to do with the Israel and Palestine and Gaza and all this stuff, and it's just like it's a fucking video game. Like, where are we drawing the line out of like tagging Steam and going, this video game needs to be taken down? It's like, shut the fuck up. You have never played a video game in your life, yet you're tagging Steam trying to get video games taken down. Like, that's what drives me crazy about it is conservatives, generally speaking, they try to get involved in things with the entertainment side, and they don't know anything about it, and they don't understand how big it is.
They don't understand why they're gaining ground. They're gaining ground because they're not acting like the PMRC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
If you want to be part of the free speech movement, free expression, you better fucking understand art. And what we're protecting is the shit we don't agree with up to a certain point. Okay. There's lines that should not be crossed. Cuties, of course. Kids. Really basic common sense shit. For the most part, if adults want to practice some kind of weird fucking art, let them. That's part of it. And you know what? You can free speech is you can call that shit out and you can mock it. And that's the best way to fight it anyway. But getting people to ban or getting worse governments to ban, that's where you lose. That's where you lose.
Yeah.
And the right has really jumped on the free speech, free expression that the left has mostly abandoned. That's why you're gaining ground. Don't fuck it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And so I'm a little, because I love realism, but it also depends on the property and where it fits in. There are certain games that call for more, and then other ones that, of course, it's fantasy and suspension of disbelief is a lot easier and everything.
Right.
And so it's a case by case really as to what level, because there are things like, for instance, Legolas in The Hobbit jumping on the stones, right? That I found very hard to swallow, more difficult than the fact there's a fire-breathing dragon or something like that. So there's a balance.
Yeah,
well, it's like the Rebel Moon trailer.
Personally, but you wouldn't go out and say, "Hey, government or system, hey,
of course not,
cancel this thing." Yeah, that's the scary thing. Is like, is the pendulum gonna swing just in the opposite direction? It's gonna suck over there too, because I don't want that either. I don't want.
Yeah, and that's the thing we're trying to prevent.
I fully agree with Jeremy in the sense that there is critics on the right that just do not understand pop culture at all.
Yeah.
And they shoot themselves in the foot, especially dumb comments that certain ones made about anime and other things. It's just
What are you gonna say, Disparu?
It's like the Rebel Moon trailer. There's a scene in the trailer where she beats up 6 guys who are all 3 times her weight. Now, if she's just an average person, I'll have a problem with that. If they just go, oh, she's genetically engineered and she's got superhuman strength.
No, there you go. You answered the question.
It doesn't take much. It's just going to fit into your world and make sense.
Exactly.
Agreed. Totally agreed. And we don't know that she was bred for war. She's a kind of a soldier, so maybe she's got some enhancements. Maybe dense. She's from a planet with more dense gravity, and she's on. There's a lot of ways. You're right that they could explain.
You can rationalize it.
That little 5'3" girl beat the shit out of guys almost twice her size. So
it's like Serenity. They did they explained why she could do the stuff she could do.
Exactly.
Yes.
The movie's gotten so much more better at a time, and I know it's Joss Whedon, but there's actually some pretty based shit in Serenity, especially the opening line.
It really is.
We're not telling them. We're not telling them what to think. We're showing them how. I mean, that's such a great line.
Forced behavior.
Yes.
Forced behavior.
Bowman Spyro on the Streamlabs side for $100. Cheers. Hail the fellowship. Hope you don't mind me asking for some help. My brother is fighting a false felony charge from his ex-wife. He's out on bail, but needs funds for a proper lawyer. Any help would mean a lot, the world to us, and that's a GoFundMe. And there's no problem with that, but Bowman, you have to understand, before we really go with GoFundMes, we got to vet them. So it's up to you guys out there. And again, no offense, but there's a lot of fraud out there.
Well, my rule's always been I don't share GoFundMes unless it's directly tied to a personal friend or a personal family member, because that's the hard line you have to draw. Because and you can say there's exceptions here and there, and there might be, but it's just you're gonna piss somebody off no matter what if you start sharing them. Well, if they shared that one, why didn't they share this one? It's a tough thing to navigate. It just always is.
And our viewers. They make their own choices as well, and so it's hard to.
Because at the end of the day, there's going to be 200,000 people watch this video. I promise you, everybody's got problems.
Yep,
so we can't share 200,000 people's problems. So,
and also domestic. Really want to stay out of those domestic problems. I mean, if it's false, I'm sorry, and I hope justice prevails. We know it doesn't all the time, but I've
literally had family members come to me that don't talk to me that much until suddenly they need something like, hey, can you shout? No, fuck you, bitch. You ain't talked to me in two years. Now you want to ask me? Go fuck yourself. You know?
Really? That sucks.
Oh, fuck them.
Did you use those exact words?
Yes.
No. I'm sure he did, and it sucks that happened to you, Jeremy. That's
Dude. No, trust me. I've talked about this many times, and we're talking distant family, you know. But like, these are people that always thought I was a loser for like this guy. Just all he cares about is video games and movies and nerd shit. He's never gonna make anything. And all of a sudden, you know, years later, I always believed in you, Jeremy. Go fuck yourself. You didn't believe in shit.
Yeah.
You didn't believe in
I always
shit.
believed in you when you started becoming successful.
Yep.
Exactly.
Darren Calhoun for $100. Just thank you for the entertainment and inspiration as I sit in my hermit cave and write. Ooh, there's nothing wrong with that. Thank you.
Riding.
Thanks for supporting us, and may the creativity flow. May it flow. Patrick Ells for $50 to the tune of Jingle Bells. I'm not going to sing it. Patrick, I love you, but Jingle Bells, Disparu Gels, as has passed away. Hail all you geeks and gamers. Shad has gone AI. Chrissy's teats are legit. Jeremy told me so. Gary is the bestest gamer. Oops, X-rays out of words.
Nice. Hell yeah.
I should have made her sing it. From Canada, where she is right now.
Yeah.
Because she's totally in Canada. Mm-hmm. And not helping the show at all. Has no part in this show whatsoever. She's fired this week. Yeah.
You have to get Mark to stand in for her.
Words.
Well, it's tough for Mark to stand in without.
He would have a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
He can't even stand in for
I cheated to one side.
There's not going to be anybody left.
Stand in for himself.
I've been fired. X-Ray Girl's been fired. Az is dead. There's not going to be. Shad's gone off to make
I've been
AI
replaced
art.
by AI. Yeah.
Blackguard 4 for $50. Yep. This is it for us. For all the destruction to canon and our favorite shows and books, etc., by studios and sometimes the creators themselves over the last decade or so, in my opinion, it's ultimately the fans/audience that determines what is and isn't canon to our favorite stories. Ultimately, it is. It's through success, which Star Wars has not been a success. Star Trek has, like, the very definition, at least Disney Star Wars did bring in some money, but it was based on the past. Kurtzman Trek has not made a penny. Not a fucking penny. And now Disney, Doctor Who, dead before it gets even gets started. Killed in the crib. The comeback is killed in the crib. Oh, well. Mm-hmm. And Marvel, the most successful Hollywood franchise, film-wise, cinematically, of all. 20-plus movies that were all varying degrees of pretty good, you know? Okay. From okay to pretty good. Went to shit so fast. And they thought it was just this, they being Hollywood, thought it was this juggernaut that would never stop. But by the way, that's a kind of a childish way to look at it. But you know what? It could have lasted a lot longer if they had just made, I don't know, more Captain America movies with Captain America in it. That would be my first, hey, have a Captain America movie with Captain America. Have an Avengers movie with the Avengers. But no, Ironheart's going to be the answer, folks. Ironheart.
Clearly.
Ironheart. And yeah. Echo. We are just weeks away from Echo.
Oh, God.
And
Agatha. All anal.
It was Agatha all along.
All anal.
Did they actually rename it to Agatha all along?
That's what I have no idea. That's what Twitter said. So I have no fucking idea. But it wasn't it Culture Crave that shared it though? It wasn't like
I think so.
Yeah. So I think maybe. Like,
I mean, if they have, that has nothing to do with the series that it's actually talking about, though. That was a different series.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
that is going to bomb so massively, this Agatha show.
Oh.
Like, who gives a crap about it? Genuinely. Is there
it seems like it's a show with an identity crisis if they can't come up with a fucking title for it.
Because they know it's going to bomb. It's all damage control, and they have no idea what they're going to do with it, because it seems like they can't just scrap it. It has to come out.
Joke that writes itself at this point is Agatha sucked all along. So
Are we even going to review it? I don't give a crap about it.
Probably.
Depends on what. It's not till 2025, so I'm not going to get that much.
We got time.
Delayed
We got
that much.
time.
Holy crap.
We got time.
We're going to change the name 10 more times.
We
by
got
then.
time.
Yeah.
I can tell you, Echo, yes, you have to watch it.
Ah!
Yes. But you guys
Thanks,
are going to get
Gary.
nice. You're going to get long breaks because there's going to be fucking nothing coming out. You know what? I should also make you watch Reacher, and you'll thank me for it.
Oh, no, I'm gonna watch.
I need to watch that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I told all you guys to watch Godzilla. You eventually did.
Gary, it's not out in Australia.
I'm still not sure if it's out
This
here.
wasn't aimed at
What
you.
the fuck can I do?
This wasn't aimed at you. It's aimed at the Americans on this panel who didn't go see it right away.
I want to watch it.
I'm gonna see it Monday with the wife. So
I want to watch that. I just can't.
I know, and you are forgiven if you're in the UK and Australia. If you're an American, fuck you. You didn't listen to me.
That's getting clipped.
screw you, Garrett. Just take back all the nice things I said about you.
Take them all back.
I was on my trip for LA. I took time out of my trip to go to a con, and the first thing I did was we parked the car, dumped our luggage, and went and saw Godzilla. We found the time. That's what we did.
Wow.
That's right.
Can I say that? Like, I think I don't think I've seen anyone criticize Godzilla -1. Like, it's crazy. The universal love.
Somebody on the Salty Nerd podcast called it overrated. I can't remember.
Wow.
Which one, though.
Well, they're
That's
wrong.
it's so rare because I mean, no matter what comes out, you've got people. There's always gonna be people criticize whatever. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? But like, if I've seen no criticism
None.
to this movie,
None.
it's
Yeah, like relatively, there's been
insane.
zero.
Even Mikey Gussler liked it. Mikey said,
movie's great,
"This
dude.
reminds
That's
me
good.
of a Snyder version of Godzilla." I love you, Mikey. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it really is a phenomenal
I'm
film.
getting gaslit in the chat. People are saying Godzilla has come out. I've just checked Village Cinemas. It's not there. It's not out yet. Anyway,
It's out in the UK. It's out in the
It
UK.
came out today in the
Why
UK.
don't you just AI draw it and watch it?
Yeah.
Just type in Godzilla -1.
Hey, there's a great Godzilla movie you can watch on YouTube right now called Bambi versus Godzilla. Go watch it.
Oh, it's a fantastic one.
Seems a bit
I've
one-sided, that
I've
one.
seen
Yeah,
one-sided.
it is kind of one-sided.
It was short yet truthful.
Fulfilling.
Truthful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Counterpoint the surrealism of the underlying metaphor. I really found the metaphysical imagery quite effective.
Contrast had a profound effect on my
Yes.
perspective in terms of the underlining themes of storytelling from a meta retroactive perspective in the reflection of what's, visual impact can really do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was
Basically
actually
bullshitting.
that explanation was
Truth about-
longer than Bambi versus Godzilla, by the way.
Chrissy's got to bounce.
I have to go, guys. I'm so sorry. This was fun, though.
What do you got coming up
what do you-
besides a
I
baby?
should have left like Odin
Uh,
stealthily.
Gary, babies don't come up. They never mind.
They come out. They go down.
I've seen a baby get cut out. Okay, so sliced and ripped out of a stomach like fucking alien. So yeah, they come out.
Can't wait. Looking
Yeah.
forward.
Start
Happy
with,
Phoenix.
Old man Gary, we start like, Gary, calm down, calm down.
God damn it, you're American. That's what happens when you grow up in California.
This weekend, December 27th, I'll be in New York City at Stand Up New York. January 5th and 6th, San Diego. January 25th in Dallas. February 24th in Morris Plains, New Jersey. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I think I have the lovely Disparu on. I'll be interviewing him soon, maybe next week, I think.
I think it's the 20th.
The 20th at 2.
Chrissy,
Yes.
you're really good at interviewing. Like you just have that knack to get
you.
conversation.
I enjoyed our episode very much. I learned.
I
a
really
lot.
did. That was heaps of fun. I loved it.
Heaps. All right, thanks, guys.
Bye, Chrissy.
I gotta pee too. Love you, bye.
Everybody, Chris, did you catch that? She has to pee. So Chrissy has to pee. She just trolled thousands of people. She has to pee.
She's pregnant. Makes sense.
She is pregnant. Yeah, that checks out. to be honest with you. You ever gone on a road trip
You
with a
know-
pregnant woman? I know Garrett has, but
Yeah, it sucks.
My wife, through a couple of pregnancies, got a super smell. I'm not kidding. Like her sense of smell increased by triple.
Yeah.
She could
Yeah.
smell things. I'm like, what? I can't smell things. It's there. And lo and behold, you know.
my wife
She
could
would find
sense when I was annoying her, which was all the time when she was
Stop.
Just point that out. Aaron Pipes for $50. Since Abigail's transition should be half over, does the crew have a welcome gift? Maybe a Dorothy's dress from The Wizard of Oz or a new OnlyFans page? Sharing with Jeremy and Ryan just seems so inappropriate now. Also, how big are her new boobs? Who's Abigail? Who's Abigail?
I don't know.
Aaron?
Yeah.
Thank you for the $50. I have no idea who Abigail is. Tell us, chat.
My internet was cutting out there for a bit.
Who's
but it come
Abigail,
out.
and why is Abigail transitioning?
Is she going to appear on Doctor Who?
Probably.
I
don't know the reference.
I don't know. Is it Abigail? Isn't one of the Disney?
Why are people saying Abigail Shapiro? This is now confusing me even more.
Abigail
I'm really
Shapiro?
confused.
Ben's sister?
Okay, I'm going to read this. Did you hear the super chat? I'll read it again, Jeremy.
No, I didn't hear it.
Okay.
I didn't hear it.
Since Abigail's transition be half over, does the crew have a welcome gift? Maybe a Dorothy's dress from Wizard of Oz or a new OnlyFans page? Sharing with Jeremy and Ryan just seems so inappropriate now. Also, how big are her new boobs? Are we talking about Az?
I don't know. Is Shapiro's sister named Abigail? Is that what a lot of people are saying?
How did people know that Az was transitioning while he was gone? That was supposed to be a secret.
Oh.
We're supposed to tell people he's dead.
I was trying to
Not
divert us from the
transition.
conversation, but
Oh,
you
shit.
decided to. Damn it,
Sorry.
Harry, do you not know how to YouTube?
No, I don't.
I was
Yeah,
trying.
everyone in the chat's saying as.
I was trying to move us away from that conversation.
Damn it! I screwed up.
So much you thought we'd get a pair of
How
his
you
own.
know, like all these pictures, like that Az has been taking and posting, like it's basically like what you don't see is that his penis is slowly going away.
Just like his fat, his penis as well is shrinking.
Poor Az not being able to be here to defend
Poor
himself.
Az. That's what he gets for not being here.
Is that why the angle of his photographs is getting steeper as time goes on, so you can see more of his body, and then he'll eventually do the grand reveal for all the way down.
If you ain't gonna be here for a month, we're gonna make you pay.
We're gonna make you fucking pay.
He's probably listening to
R.I.P.
this.
Az.
Oh, those brother.
R.I.P.
I'll never forget when I was talking to him months ago on the phone. This something happened, I don't know, and I was like, "Hey man, I appreciate you always having my back." I was just being really nice, and he's like, "You effing Melanie Mac word."
Yep.
I thought he was gonna be like, "Hey, no problem, bro. Appreciate." No, he was like, "You." Like, you know what? I deserve
Buckets. What I find even more funny, we all knew what word you were referring to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Literally did a video about it the other day.
She's made it her own.
My favorite was that everyone underneath was like, I get banned when I say that. How do you not do that? It's like, why'd you have a pass?
British. Hey, Fear the Tardo, one of my favorite accounts on Streamlabs. 3 parts. 3 parts from Fear the Tardo. Oh, God.
Wow.
Here we go. For $45. Hi, guys. Tardo now can do Streamlabs. Smart now. Anyway, Crispix is coming, so Tardo want to do something for less fortunate. That what Crispix is all about. But who less fortunate than Tardo? Then Tardo figured it out. Cottage division, of course. Cottage division short, so no one can reach cookies or ice cream without share. That very not fortunate. Tardo decide to give Crispix present for reading favorite book 198 Three number between 3 and 5. Now no math by George Orwell. George Orwell. Tardo hope like it longer than books by Dr. Zeus. Hopefully not harder to understand. Tardo still not know if can moo like Mr. Brown. Book no answer question. Give full
He's
review
yelling.
next week. Till then, Merry Crispix to all and to all lock it. Yay.
They have a good one there.
Fear the Tardo.
Oh my God, that was epic.
It's just Fear the Beardo. I honestly, there's no difference between the two.
It's hard to tell.
Tardo likes Spider-Man too. Miles Morales, Tardo's favorite. We love you, Beardo. Bird up for $50. Hail FNT this weekend. Godzilla -1 will be the first movie I've ever seen in theaters 3 times. Holy shit, really?
Damn.
This is absolutely the best movie in years. Go see Godzilla -1. Hail FNT. Hail Godzilla. And what the hell? Hail Blue Oyster Cult 2.
Well, okay then.
Okay.
Jeremy put up the picture the picture that will be associated with this modern classic. That's what I'm going to call it. Godzilla -1 is a modern classic. Will be that with the boat fleeing Godzilla, and it's very Jaws like, and it's
Such
perfect.
A good shot.
It sets up the movie perfect. It's a shot that describes how good this movie is, which isn't about Godzilla. It's not about Godzilla.
Really isn't.
And
Really
that's
isn't.
what makes it really fucking good.
I heard somebody say, because I was sure the -1, like, so I heard people say, like, because it was basically ground zero after the war.
So
but then when Godzilla shows up,
-1 is civilization had already been set to 0 due to the atomic bombs and the bombing of
Right.
Tokyo. Godzilla sent it to -1.
-1.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Fantastic title. And yeah, it really is not like it is a Godzilla movie, but it's not really. That's not the heart and soul of the movie. That's not the core of the movie. That's not what you're gonna walk away remembering when you see the movie. You're gonna remember the human element, and the story and the arc in which you get there. And I didn't know what to expect. I didn't really watch anything with the movie in terms of the trailers or know anything about it. So I went into it relatively blind. And again, I was just like, can this movie be like, how is this movie as good as everybody's saying? And so I just, as you see everything develop and play out, and then you get to, it's a wonderful, wonderful movie. I can't wait to see it again. I've only seen it the one time.
You almost forget that there's a giant lizard that destroys
You really do.
cities.
You really
You're
do.
like, this is a great human story about loss and coping with that and family, and then you're like, oh yeah, giant monster, and that part's awesome as well. It's a fantastic
but
movie.
That particular scene that I shared, it is one of the, like, you see a lot of like social media accounts like posting shots from iconic movies and things like that. That shot, every time I see that shot of Godzilla in the water, it gets better for me the more I think about it. It just was an amazing scene, and everything that they were doing in that scene. You felt the fear of that moment. You felt the level of fear in that moment. It was terrifying. They did a great job, man. They really did.
Hell yeah. I can't wait to see it in screens again. Gonna do it, well, if there's time before Rebel Moon and Aquaman. I got a lot of shit to do for the holidays. So we're going to wrap it up there, folks. Been another fun show. We had over 16,000 people. We love you guys. Loving Friday Night Tights, and we're going to have our special Christmas episode next Friday where we're going to talk about Rebel Moon and Aquaman 2. That'll be a fun end of the year.
Yep.
Yeah. So, God, there's only 6 of us here. It's like the old days of Friday
Yeah, it
Night
is.
Tights.
Yeah.
Dang. Comics division, what do you got coming up?
Well, be talking about more Doctor Who.
There you go.
We'll talk about the controversy with around Shuti Gatwa and the fact that they're calling him the magical, Garrett, you can say the word.
Negro.
Thank you. Yeah, so that's what I got going on. Of course, I stream every Monday and Thursday on my channel at 9 p.m. Central Time. And I stream every Wednesday at 8 p.m. over on Rumble, where we talk about politics. Of course, you can find me here every week on Friday Night Tights. Also, you can find me on Geeks and Gamers Tabletop, where I play Talron the Dark Elf, who's a paladin. So check that out as well. And as always, folks, it was great hanging out with you guys and hanging out with my fellow panelists. And I'll see you next week.
When you say dark elf,
yes,
drow elf,
drow elf, yes.
Are they black?
Yeah, he's dark skinned.
Okay. So are you gonna cosplay as your character?
No.
No balls then.
Chicken.
No commitment at all.
No. I got a funny story though. I was at a Ren Fair a number of years ago. It was like, actually, I think it was when my wife and I got married, and there was a black guy wearing a white wig, and I was like, dark elf got it. It was pretty badass though.
That community episode is one of the best. And
yes.
Taking it off because of that.
It's retarded.
Quarter Black Garrett, what do you got coming up, buddy?
Yo, nothing except for the videos that are on Nerdrotic. So go watch all the videos that have already come out if you haven't already, and just stick to the channel.
Yeah, we're gonna make some new ones. We have plans. Especially for the end of the year.
Did a Christmas special yesterday with Dave Landau on our Normal World channel. So go watch that. It was pretty fun. We had Akira Dawn on, play some music and
it's pretty good
sketches that I thought were pretty good. So check that out, and yeah, that's it.
I'm gonna have Garrett and Perry at work simultaneously. That'll be fun. For
it
everybody.
happens sometimes.
It does. It does. All right. What do you got coming up, Shad M Brooks?
Got a couple of exciting things coming out, actually. One of the fun things about, when you start to get established is that there's a lot of, stuff I would like to buy but doesn't exist. And I'm now in the means to be able to a blessed situation, I reckon, to reach out and actually start developing my own products because there's stuff that I really want. And so I'm in the process of producing a sword, an actual Shadiversity sword.
Very cool.
And it is going to friggin' rock if we can pull it off. It's a bit of a swing for the fences, but I've reviewed swords for many years. I know what makes a good one. I know what materials to make it out of to get some of the best performance, and this thing, if we can pull it off, is going to be insane. So I've been working on that, working on perhaps even developing a line of attire that might blend some medieval themes with a modern look, which is I'm thinking that's also in the works. Maybe even some fancy watches, like actual pristine, like high quality watches. And that, so I'm actually, I'm exploring some fun things in regards to actually developing high quality products that might be on their way next year. And this is in addition to the graphic novels. They are shipping out as we speak. Everyone who's purchased one, you're going to get yours very shortly. People have already been receiving them. If you do receive graphic novel, leatherbound, everything, tag me on Twitter. I want to see them in your hands, everyone. Read the books, review them, make videos, post them on YouTube. I'd love to hear what you think about. And I'm so happy with how it's turned out. Like, seriously, this is like, take a look at the art when you get this graphic novel. This is some of the best work Mike has ever done. It is top tier.
And
it
Mike's
amazing.
done work on Duncan Egg, right?
Okay.
Duncan Egg.
Yeah, like
for Song of Ice and Fire. He's done covers. And I have all those books. I own all the Song of Ice.
Mike's legit.
Hedge Knight. Hedge Knight is the shit.
Hedge Knight. This is Mike's work. He's worked directly with, George R. Martin. And
he gave me a page.
Did he?
Yeah, in San Diego when we met Ryan. That day we met Ryan, he gave me a page. It's hanging up.
So, amazing artist, one of the best. And so the art in the Shadow of the Conqueror graphic novel is just incredible. Take a look, and the quality of the books. Well, like, I made sure the ones that we're making are made with best quality paper, got leather bound, and so I want to see you guys in your hands. And for Volume 2, we've already done all the artwork. Volume 2, we are halfway through or getting there with the coloring, and so we'll hopefully be able to launch Volume 2 in short order. And Volume 2 is friggin' amazing. It's going to be 3 times bigger than Volume 1. Like it's huge. And it has, like when the story goes, it gets rock and roll, man. So I'm very excited to get that going. So heaps of stuff is going on for me at the moment. It's an exciting time.
Awesome. Did you see Jeremy Clarkson's tweet about London today? It was
No,
fucking
what did he say?
glorious. Here, I'll let me get it up. Wow, that's getting.
Let me get it up.
No, you just combined
I'll
the
just
two.
read it.
Let me get it up. That's the biggest black dick I've ever seen.
So Jeremy Clarkson, he doesn't tweet a lot. He's a hero of mine from Grand Tour, Top Gear, Clarkson's Farm. People of abroad, do not come to London until we get rid of our clown mayor. So it's a little late.
Wonder why he would say that.
But
I already went there. Dang it.
Yeah, we already went there. It's fucking London's a mess. I mean, like I liked it 20 years ago, but I mean, it's fine if you're walking and you're a tourist, but if you live there and have to like get around, what a fucking nightmare.
There's
What a
still a
nightmare.
load of people that look at it as if it's like the most prestigious place to be. You really need to live in London. It's expensive, but it's worth it to live in this little tiny flat surrounded by millions of people. I don't get it.
No fucking way. You know, I thought that way once. Disparu, I did. I'm gonna. I grew up outside of San Diego, but when I moved to San Francisco, at first it was pretty fun, right? And I was able to get like this really tiny box of a house, which I like spent all my money on. And I got over it pretty quick, and I can't stand cities now. Even the thought of like, I'll go to one for a concert, but the thought of going there and staying in a city now is just repulsive.
Yeah, same. Living in a city, but visiting, they're fun to visit.
Visiting is fine, but like London doesn't stink as like even when it's hot, it doesn't stink as bad as San Francisco did, or New York's fucking smells like shit to where the New Yorkers don't even notice it. Like the old Bill Hicks routine, if you remember it, is that urine? Is that urine on a dead guy? I must be in New York.
The country's where it's at.
Yep.
So yeah, just
the
a sense of
Shires.
freedom.
The Shires.
That's right.
Thank you, Shad. Jeremy,
got Cobra Cast tonight, so I'll be live a little bit later. I don't know what time, so I still have a couple things to do. And Tuesday is the last day for the 199 backpacks, so that'll be on Tuesday night's main event. We'll be closing that out. If you have not gotten it, please consider getting the 199 Geeks and Gamers limited edition backpack. And that's about it. You know what? I guess I'll mention. I've only mentioned this one time. I'll mention it again. I have a new channel. Yes, another YouTube channel.
Surprise.
So you got to get. At this point, you
not-
have to get rid of one before you put another one on.
No.
I'm putting
I
my
hope
foot
it's
down.
an AI channel.
It is an AI channel with no kidding.
Yes!
I,
Get on
I
board,
do-
baby.
At least there'll be
I'm
posts on it.
I haven't made any videos for the new channel yet. It's very specific wrestling and video games. That's all I'm going to be talking about. So if you're not interested in those topics, it's fine if you don't subscribe, but it's just professional wrestling and video games. I'm not going to be talking about Trump, not going to be talking about wokeness. I'm just going to be playing video games and talking about professional wrestling. That's it. So if you're interested, it's Cobra 199 is the name of it, and but I've only mentioned it one time, and so if you're interested, cool. If not, I totally understand. Even as I said when I mentioned on the Cobra Cast, I was like 90% of you don't give a fuck about this. But we've got a lot of different stuff we're doing G&G. More gaming stuff is coming to G&G as well. But I've got a big plan of everything I'm doing. So there's a strategic reason why I'm creating that channel. But other than that, great Friday Night Tights, and I'm looking forward to Rebel Moon. I am looking forward to seeing it and talking about it next week.
Yes, I'm looking more forward to Rebel Moon than seeing Aquaman for sure. Like 100%. 100%. Disparu. What do you got coming up, buddy?
Disparu on YouTube just published a Doctor Who video where I give extremely brief thoughts on the episodes. I think I summarized episode 2 in one sentence or something, so That was interesting because it's more about the fallout that's happened and about how no matter how much you're trying to appease people with the Gatwa, they still don't like you. They still think you're going wrong and you just need to do more. So I thought that was interesting. I'm also going to go through the Rebel Moon reviews because if there's one thing I like more than anything else, it is when the media gets savage in their reviews. The more interesting the insults that they can come up with, the funnier it is. So looking forward to going through that.
Yeah, yeah.
And be streaming the finals at some point because it's the best FPS in years.
Oh, I can't wait to play that when I get back. I
It's
cannot
awesome.
wait.
What
I've
what
heard
did you just
nothing
say?
but great. The finals.
Final.
No, nothing about it.
The finals, like the
I've heard nothing-
NCAA finals, like what finals?
that's what the final, but yeah, the finals is I've heard nothing but good things about it.
I thought you would
And
have known this,
Disparu-
Gary, being a gamer.
Yeah, exactly. The master gamer Gary.
I thought you were going pro in it this year.
Well, here Disparu. So we were talking about Tuesday night's main event, and I basically said like, Disparu loves it. That goes a long way with me because Disparu is stupidly good at every video game I've seen him play. It's kind of stupid how good he is, and but if he's this impressed with the finals, I really want to play it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking that one out.
It unified the opinion of me, Mike, Lethal, and Mozza, and I don't think we've ever agreed on an FPS. So
That is rarefied error right there.
Like,
That
well,
is
even
rarefied
Blabs
error.
likes it.
Agreeing
She's just
with
running around knocking
agreeing
stuff
with
over.
Lethal, like yeah, Lethal's not going to agree on too much with anybody except for Furiosa. I'm right there with you, Lethal.
Oh man! By the way, chat remind me of this. So the channel, like on YouTube, you have the @ and then you have the name. So I don't have the @ Cobra199 for that. It's @ D-Day Cobra199 if you want to search it out that way. But because some weirdo 10 years ago created a channel called Cobra199 and it wasn't me. Fucking loser.
That's random.
I'm still dealing with Nerdrotic on Twitter that I created at my comic store, and then Brian Hibbs bought the comic store, didn't turn he was supposed to turn the account back to the Comic Outpost and didn't know how to fucking change it. And now that comic store is closed. And he still has @ Nerdrotic. That's why I'm @ Nerdrotics on Twitter. Because the account hasn't tweeted anything. And remember when Elon was going to fix that?
Yep. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting
Cat
for some loser. Some loser back in 2013 was the last. They tweeted like 5 tweets from @Geeks and Gamers, and they haven't tweeted since 2013. And I'm patiently waiting.
But on the other hand, it means that Ryan stays angry. So
yes,
is it worth
That's
it?
a bonus.
There's always a bonus. So you're right. You don't look at Disparu looking on the bright side. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rare for an Englishman.
That is rare.
Oh man.
So I've got videos to work on, but so Mahler is releasing. The reason he's not here is he's editing the Lord of the Rings commentary. It's not like commentary where you watch the movie. It's a super cut. I think it's gonna be like 6, 7, 8 hours long. And I was
8
part
hours,
of,
I think he said.
Wow.
I was part of it with Critical Drinker and the EFAP crew, and it was tons of fun. Then on Sunday at 1 p.m. Central Time, 20th anniversary stream of Return of the King on this channel. Before Forbidden Frontier, we're gonna still do Forbidden Frontier too. I'm lots of streaming Sunday.
Oh yeah.
So please tune in to that. We're gonna talk about Return of the King and Lord of the Rings for 2 or 3 hours. I'm sure it'll be a miserable experience for me, but that's what we got coming up. And then, of course, lots of fun Christmas stuff. Mahler will be back next week. I think everybody will be back next week, and it should be a pretty fun show. But again, thanks to all of you guys. Thanks, Disparu, being here all month, and Mahler for being here most of the month. Fuck Ryan Kinnell. Hope he has fun at his little right-wing conference, his alt-right conference this weekend in Arizona.
Hey, I was only supposed to be here an hour today, but I love you fuckers so much. Couldn't pass up on being
We love
here.
you too.
So,
We love you too. Even though you're
family
fired,
is
you
wrong.
stayed here for like 3 hours.
That's
It's
right.
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Told the family to fuck off. I was like, Friday Night
That's
Tyson.
right.
more important.
Let's go watch Chrissy's Content House. That's riveting streaming. Riveting. You might see some boob slippage or something at some point.
Yes, because I'm surprised it's not rife with nudity.
Well, it'll probably be from Camelot, but you know.
He's always slipping boob though.
Yeah.
And tonight, Jay is Takeover will be with me on Cobra Cast.
Oh.
So 3PO will be with me tonight. So there
Drunk
you go.
3PO.
It'll be later tonight, though.
It wouldn't be a Friday Night Tights without Drunk 3PO getting a shout out at some point.
Yeah.
And he didn't even get roasted this time.
No, well, he is the most famous man on the internet under 100,000 subscribers. So.
And there it is.
And there it is. Thanks to the Nerdrotics. You guys always do a great job. Thanks to that secret producer we have in the background. They did a good job for the most part. Considering how hungover they are, how much they fucking drank. I was watching. I know how much you drank. don't deny it. Don't be shaking your head.
I've met them in person, Gary, and basically always drunk.
Can
Yes,
confirm.
yes, that is a good way of describing this individual. Yeah,
she's a bit of a lush, that one.
Yeah.
And thanks.
Thank you, Lady Gravemaster.
Thank you, Lady Gravemaster. She's not a lush. She's our weaponized autism in the research department.
She's responsible.
She is responsible, and she does a great job. And she's a former Marine, so Semper Fi. Did I get that right?
Semper Fi.
Semper Fi. That's good. All right, and thanks to everyone who left a super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on around here, and we will see you next time. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
God damn, Gary. Some serious gourmet. What flavor is this? That's right, it's the all-hell medium roast private blend. Check out the Geek Grind Coffee Nerdrotic page for our other options like the Decadent, Feathers of Liberty, vanilla-infused flavored coffee. Or if you're looking for something darker, try the Dark Roast FNT blend of the Fellowship. You know what? Just buy all three. GeekGrindCoffee.com. Use discount code Nerdrotic.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Dame, dame.